about to put it on too.
BROOKLYN, 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 we wildin'.
Fresh off the press.
Back in the day, J-Kid was the man, boy. Put the team on his back like a jam sport. D-Lo with the triple drop hand on. Pick and roll, full contact, this is a man's sport.
There you go.
County of Kings, really the Kingsborough. You know Crown Heights, so you know that sound right. Brooklyn Bridges, Z-Dub defending. The Brooklyn Block Party, clacks and double digits. Got the Barclays clicking, the whole block is with it. Left a lot on the table, now we coming to get it. The shook one's gone, we too Brooklyn strong. Can't stop, won't stop from the Brooklyn block. BROOKLYN, 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 BROOK, we wildin'. Okay, we wildin'. Okay, we wildin'. Okay, we wildin'. BROOKLYN.
That hit. Cam Thomas.
Just give me the ball, I'm fitting the score next. My J is all net, me and Jay just all next. Getting back on defense, hit him with strong flex. I'm official like a rep, trying not to get attacked. And we go hard on Brooklyn, that's a promise. Watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Nation, watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Switch, they can't guard me, especially side the Barclays. Spin between crosses, I can score with both hands. Midi flawless, and I get to paint like an artist. I'm a boss smith, so you should respect my handle. I see the big picture with the Nets like a mantle. In the future, I see us as champs too. And when we do, I'ma do a Brooklyn dance move. To stir that whole Millie rock like a fan do. That's a bet like my parlay on FanDuel.
BROOKLYN, BROOKLYN, BROOKLYN.
There's Clarkson. Oh my goodness.
Okay, we wildin'. Okay, we wildin'. Okay, we wildin'. BROOKLYN.
When you establish a culture, that's what you do every day. That creates one thing, that it's your identity. Alright, that's how you are seen by other people. If you work really hard, you get 1% better every day, you're a competitive group. That means that you fight.
Oh, what a move by Sharp. Counted him a foul.
Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog, and we out here, man. Yo, listen, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The H is silent. Thank you very much. The H is silent. The only thing this team is missing is a superstar. Is that superstar Cam Thomas? How good is this team with Cam Thomas and whoever we draft? I know we're supposed to focus on taking for 2 years, but I don't know, man. This team is tough, man. The way Jordy Fernandez is coaching this team, man. I wanted Keon Johnson to dunk on Miles Turner, man. I did. I'm not gonna lie. Let me not lie to you, man. That play with Miles Turner, Keon Johnson went to the rack and tried to dunk on Miles Turner. I was hoping he dunked on him, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, Keon Johnson got bunnies, bro. Straight bunnies. Yo, what up? What up, Jay?
Yeah, he got bunnies, but he got blocked that last play.
Yeah, I wanted him to dunk that shit, man. I ain't gonna
He
lie.
tried. I respect the attempt. But
Yeah.
I do think we should have been going for a 3 on that play and boxing out for a rebound, because instead of going for a 3 at the end of the game, like D-Lo fucked that game up for us, I think.
Why you say that?
We was up like 5 or 6, and then D-Lo comes down, shoots a 3 that we didn't need. Like, what we needed was just points, and he went for a lazy 3, missed that, and then came back, got the ball again. We up by 3 or 2, we was up by 3. He come down, throws the ball over the backboard, and then they come down. Keon Johnson fouls the dude. He gets 3 shots. Like, we should have fouled him before he even got the chance to get 3 shots. He should have only got 2 shots, and we still would have been up by 1.
Yeah, but you gotta realize some of this is thank you very much. The H is silent. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. The H is silent. Now, I say that because at the end, you see, we get ripped in the back court. He just stole a ball from him, and like, come on. Then they got a dunk.
Tyrese Martin should have never been bringing the ball up the court.
Yo, Tyrese Martin, man, that's not the first time I think I've seen that happen. The announcer, it was so funny. They don't know us so much that when Tyrese Martin scored, they said Jalen Wilson just scored the ball for the first time tonight. I said they don't even know the difference between Tyrese Martin and Jalen Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit,
Word.
crazy, man.
But I ain't gonna lie. That should have been either Keon Johnson or D'Lo with the ball, not Tyrese Martin at that point. So I'm not even mad at him for getting ripped because he shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, nah, I feel you. I feel you. Um, yeah, yo, listen, man, it is what it is. I really feel like Zaire Williams is the guy that I really wanted to talk about tonight. You know, I think Zaire Williams is somebody that I said yesterday that he had 15 points. And I don't want no more from Zaire Williams. Like I just think he should come off the bench and you know what I'm saying, average like 15 points. He don't get 20 points. No harm, no foul. It's really not on him to be the score, have a scoring responsibility. But more and more, I see him taking on that role. Tonight he had 22. I'm just like he 8 for 15, 6 for 12 from the 3-point line, 50% from the 3-point line. He might have been the best 3-point shooter out of both teams tonight. 6 for 12 for the Brooklyn Nets, and the best they did was 2 for 4. So you know what I mean? So, yeah, he was the best 3-point shooter tonight. What was Tyrese Martin? 0 for 5. Damn. That's crazy. It's hard to say that consistency. Zaire Williams is better than Tyrese Martin from the behind the 3-point line,
We
but
was
Zaire
missing
Williams is
CJ today, man.
Zaire Williams is making a case that he's probably one of the more consistent players on the team. Man, he got to make the rotation, man. He got to make the rotation, man, for real. That's all I care about. Yo, Jay? Did you know that both of these teams came from the ABA?
Yeah, I did know that.
Both the Nets and Pacers are two teams that don't have an NBA championship. The Spurs and the Nuggets came from the ABA, but they got NBA championships. We the last two out the ABA that don't have championships.
Right.
I
We need
think
to get her done.
I think we this franchise is going to get an NBA championship before the Pacers. You know what I mean? I think that the Pacers, they got the opportunity. They could get past Milwaukee, but I don't know if they could get past Boston or the Cavaliers. You feel what I'm
Where,
saying?
what place they in right now?
Who the Pacers?
Yeah.
Let me check. I don't know. I imagine they like a 500 ball club. They 40-29. Oh shit. Oh shit. They 40-29.
Well, we played them. We played them again on Saturday, I think.
They next game. My next
They next
game.
game is the Nets game.
Yeah. My next game. My next game.
Shout
We
out to the
doing what
Brooklyn Nets fans because we the best fans.
Yeah, man. We doing what we supposed to do, baby. 28 in our last 10. Like I said, thank you very much. The H is silent. Thank you very much. The H is silent. But while I got Jay here, I kind of want to go around the panel. But the last part of the show is, before I throw the link in the chat, the last part of the show is Lou Will versus Brandon Jennings. They had called it out. I think this podcaster called Legend of Winning, he the one who kind of sparked that. He had said something about it. They was on playback or something like that. And basically, I just wanted to move the conversation with you to say that they talking about playing a one-on-one, right? So if they do a one-on-one, I think they could carry this over into the All-Star game where they implement that like a 1v1, you know what I'm saying? What you
Yeah,
think
man,
about that?
that's
What you think about
important, man. We need some 1v1s out here for the community, man. We want to see who's better mano y mano. Know what I mean? And no rebounds, man. I know you love them rebounds, man, but now I know one-on-one, man.
Yeah, because
That's for
listen, all right,
5P
so
vibe.
all right, so again, that's why I wanted to ask you too. Again, this whole thing with T Time, from your perspective, what do you think about it? You know what I'm saying? Because he said the same thing too. You know, he said, you know, the only reason why you beat me is because conditioning. You know, you was putting up those shots and missing, and then getting the rebounds. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, I mean, to be
No, I
honest,
respect that part of it though. I do
yeah.
respect the conditioning being up and being able to like play winded or not be winded. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
respect that. But I'm just saying I feel like when people do the 1v1s like that, it's just out of courtesy. So nobody less likely for people to get injured and it's more focused on just the skill of basketball playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
who's better skilled on offense and defense.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's what
mean,
I think.
it is. Mm-hmm. What? What's that, Jay?
Huh?
What's that? I just heard something in
Oh
the
my
background. Okay.
oh my bad.
Um. So basically, I just feel like I want to do the tournament. I want to be versus the Knicks fans, but I want me and Jay to start like a Knicks fan day. Like we just link up in the park, play basketball, and podcast.
Right, I'm with it.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta compete versus each other when I say play basketball, but like we just have shooting contests if you want to compete like that. But I save my energy for the Knicks fans. So let's y'all want to we can run plays together, like or what we gonna do if we run a 2-on-2, 3-on-3. You know what I'm saying? I care about it. I care about winning and beating these Knicks. You know, I stay conditioned for it. You know what I mean? I'm preparing for it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be talking heavy too. I know you see my Facebook lives.
Hell yeah, I see that. That shit is fucking prime TV, man. If you're not tuned into Breezy Facebook Lives talk about this nigga Tea Time, I don't know what you're doing, man. You need to tap into the Facebook group because that shit is funny as hell. And this nigga Tea Time responded. I was trying to get you on there while he was live.
Mm,
That shit was
yeah,
funny.
I pulled up and
He said
then
it's gonna get. He said it's gonna get dark for you, bro.
yeah, he keeps saying that. And my thing is, I'm ready for whatever
I
he
don't even
talks
know what he
about.
mean by that, but he
That's
said
what
it's gonna
that's
get
what I'm
dark for you.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I keep pulling up doing the lives because I'm like, yo, you know, I'm trying to figure out why he keeps saying that. Why he even mentioning that when I beat him 6'11", he the one who said he was going to beat me coming off the couch. You the one who's talking heavy, talking hot, talking cocky, real arrogant because of that last game that you won. And I was trying to tell him like, I don't know if you should be doing all that, but he did what he did. He said what he said. We was on the podcast live in front of everybody. And he said to everybody, I'm gonna beat Big Fan Breezy off of the couch. If you watch the video, if you listen to it, like you didn't edit this one, but he says it to Jack City says it. Jack City says it. And Jack City was like, um, you know what I'm saying, basically, um, oh, you gonna beat Big Fan Breezy off the couch. And Tay Time in the video say, I'm tired, I got a cramp. That's his response. The score was 4-4. You know what I'm saying? He's called the timeout.
How many shots y'all missed for it to be 4-4 though? Y'all be taking mad long to score. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be warming up, bro. I'll be warming up. I ain't no
See, that's what I'm
professional
saying.
basketball
Play,
player.
you know, I feel you. Play, warm up before the game, and then play possessions, man. That's what I think.
So hold
But
on.
I
So like, hold on. So you talking like you walk on the court and you just be hooping
no,
like
no,
all your
no.
shots be going in as soon as you get there?
I'm not saying that, but you did see my 1v1. Terrible defense, but I didn't miss a
So
lot.
hold on. You didn't warm up before the y'all was recording it?
No, I did warm up a little bit. Like before they even got there with the camera, I was shooting around.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what I just said. Warm up before the game.
Yeah.
That's what I said. And I'm
Shit. It
not
was
listen,
cold.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna keep
saying
it
it like
real
I'm
with you.
super nice or nothing. I'm not
Nah,
trying to say that.
no. But I'm telling you the truth. It was kind of it was cool out there. You know, but sometimes maybe to win and take a shot too. Breezy
Yeah.
enough for the breezy enough for it to probably mess up the trajectory. If
Nah,
you,
that's where you gotta flourish when it's breezy. Oh
yeah, of course. I won the game.
yeah, you
I
did
won
win
the
the
game.
game. You did win the game. All right. So when it's breezy, it's good for you.
Yeah, know that. I want the Nets fans to know that we the best fans, and we up 2-1 again. Like I said, I play Tea Time. Me and him, we co-host to a show called Who Run the City. We don't do it no more, but that's how it started. we
I saw niggas in your group saying, "Yo, you got to bring the show back. You got to bring back KVN."
mm-hmm. Like I said, man, I always mention it because you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna let it depress me and no shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like the show, but at the end of the day, shit. Again, emphasis on I like the show. You know what I'm saying? We gotta like the show together. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do the work. But content quality wise, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times I wanted to troll him because of Mikal Bridges playing bad. Then some games he played good. He could have talked this shit. I know I ain't have a lot of subscribers, but it was always fun doing the show. You know what I'm saying? I like talking about shit to the Knicks fans because I know the origin of the Nets fan, the Net franchise. And I ain't know it was like that, so I read that book. Oh, okay, yeah, y'all really on some bullshit. Like, like I'm telling you, man, the Brooklyn Nets, y'all gonna have to make room for us. We failed to get a championship soon. I want to get one. I think we get one before 2030. I think we get one before 2030, man. Can't lie to you. Yeah, man, I'm gonna talk all my optimistic stuff before y'all come in here and start talking about you know what I'm saying, trade packages and all that.
Trade Central.
Word. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Leaf. Y'all can subscribe to him at youtube.com at Leaf 4788. Or you can
I watch.
subscribe to us.
I watched Leaf stream tonight. Leaf/4788. I watched it, and it
Mhm.
seemed like he's being more himself on the stream. I like that. I like the
Me
fact that
too.
he cursed a couple times. He called somebody a bum ass nigga. I was fucking with that. It wasn't that Mike Breen boom or bang or whatever.
Listen. I was around my kids. I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
He's letting it fly. You know what I'm saying? I said, "Oh, let me turn this off. I gotta put this on mute. I can't just have this playing loud."
Nah, cause
You know what I mean? Because so I get what he's saying, but my thing is, I'll critique the show more when he come on the panel. But W
with
shows.
this episode, I had that shit on the big screen, and I was watching the game on my phone.
Mhm.
I was fucking with this. He even cursed me out on the show. He was like, "Fuck you! Don't tell me what to do on my show." I was like, "Damn, you gotta relax, nigga. Don't tell me what to do on my show, nigga. It's my show, nigga. This ain't the censored shit. You told me to be uncensored. It's uncensored."
Yeah, I'm about to throw the link in the chat. Hopefully, he pull up. Um, Yeah, man, but Nets fans are the best fans, man. Subscribe to the guys, man. Subscribe to Elite 4788. Subscribe to the Tip Off of Brooklyn Nets podcast. You feel me? Y'all see me part of it. Subscribe to it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here. Like I said, I do work. You see Jay out here, you know what I'm saying? We do work, man. Nets fans is the best fans. I'm trying to do a Nets fan day. I'm trying to get to a Nets fan day, man. I'm trying. Yo, what up, peoples? What you
Yo,
mean?
what's good?
What you mean? What's most important? What's most important?
Yo, the most important thing, man.
Max
Kid.
Lewis and how he was
Kid.
moving.
Hey Breeze, hey Jay.
did you watch this? Did you
What's
watch
up,
this
bro?
nigga,
What
man?
up, John?
Yo, did you watch fucking Clangston? Did you see his body language the whole game, yo? The
Stop.
whole game, getting 25 million. Did you see that shit, Breezy? John, did you see that? I was
Bro,
I
I
saw
watching,
him
I
ain't.
didn't
walk
even
the
watch the
ball at
game.
the
I
end.
was just
I saw him
watching
walk the ball
I
at
was
the end.
watching
So I
fucking
saw.
Clangston, man. I was watching Clangston,
Yo,
his
hold
reaction.
on. Let me tell you.
Oh,
Let me tell you, peoples. Let me tell
yo,
you what I seen.
son.
Peoples. Let me tell
Yo,
you what I
son.
seen. I seen a team like don't play with us too tough like that because we'll fuck something up. I see Trendon Watford get physical with Miles Turner. I see Keon Johnson rip the ball out of somebody's hand. I seen that.
Mathurin, yeah.
I seen that's what I seen. I seen don't fucking play with us like that. We come here
Oh
to
yeah,
play
no,
basketball. If y'all
I
gonna
like
try,
that. I like
if
that.
y'all
I
gonna
love
try
that
to punk
drama
us,
shit. You
if
know
y'all
that.
gonna try
I
to
love that.
punk
I
us,
love he. You know, at
if
least
y'all, I'm
Watford.
telling you,
You know, what I
this
mean,
you gotta
started
see
shit,
what I
man. At
see.
least he did something because all out of
That's what I see.
frustration or mad
That
losses, mad losses. Because I'm sure he's, I'm sure he's a tough guy. You already know, like he don't want to lose. Like they're like 23 and fucking almost 50. You know what I'm saying? No man want to lose all these games. You know what I'm saying? That's why he probably got tight. You know,
Right, this
and
is 8 in a
Nemhart,
row.
whoever the fuck this guy is, I don't know, man. That's crazy. What's the name of But I think Wofford got the juice though. Even bitch ass Miles Turner, he didn't step all the way. You seen it, right? He didn't step all the way. He just because he trying to grab his jersey and then Wofford was like, "The fuck out of my shit, man." You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
yo,
And then
everybody
he
on the
backed off
Pacers
because
is buzzing.
Miles Turner got a
They gotta go
temperature. You know,
get
he getting hot.
James Johnson.
Oh yeah. I seen James
Yo,
Johnson on the bench. I
bro,
seen
do
him
you watch
bum
them
ass.
every time they get into any physical altercation? They act like they about to put James Johnson in the game.
But
Is
but
he on the team
he probably
still?
is the
Is he on the
best
team
fighter
still?
in the NBA
Yeah,
though,
they
probably
put him
because
in the other day
Okay.
when they was about to fight. I think it was
yeah.
against the Bucks. I think.
Oh word, I
Good
didn't even
old
see
James
that.
Johnson.
But James Johnson, that guy, he definitely
That
like
dude is like a
nobody wanted with
professional
him in the
Draymond
NBA though. In
Green.
the
Like he
NBA,
got the
not
skills to do what
not
Draymond
Yo,
Green could
when
do.
we signed him, I was referencing him as Kevin Durant's personal bodyguard. When we signed James
yeah,
Johnson, man. It was like,
nah.
if there's an
I know
altercation,
like
Johnson's gonna be there.
it's legit though. His whole family is like black belt. I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah, his
yeah.
whole family like
Yeah, I heard that his
MMA
mother,
and
his father,
boxing.
his sister.
Hmm.
Everybody, yeah. His
They
mom,
do. That's in
dad,
his spare time.
all
In his
his
spare time,
siblings.
he whoop ass.
But I ain't gonna lie, I told y'all before the real MMA fighters called him out
ooh.
Oh,
because he
I ain't
said
know that.
he
Say
said
word.
that he could. He said I don't know why he said this, but he said that he could beat the world heavyweight champion James.
Nah, I don't know
He
about
said
all
he could
that.
beat Bones Jones.
No, what?
That's what
What?
he said. He
What?
said it. Look,
What?
he said it.
John,
He,
did you? No, you
We need the
crazy, man.
recording,
Nobody could
Jay.
beat that nigga.
We
yo,
need
Nobody
this
know Bone
recording.
Jones the greatest
Yo, it's
fighter.
out there, bro. Go look for it. But he said that he could beat John Bones Jones, and then John Bones Jones laughed at it. But other MMA fighters that's just like on the come up, they went and looked for his record. They said it's some fight because he said he got 19 wins or some shit like that.
Nah, but
They went
I'm sure he can fight though. I'm sure he can.
no, but
He's very.
look.
I'm sure
It's
he can
some
fight.
website that all MMA fights go on. They were saying it's all of them up there. Even if you fight in backyard brawls, your record would be up there. And they said they got no record of him fighting.
Well,
Wow.
he probably doing that shit, whatever.
Hold on.
Cause you remember he's from Wyoming. He's from like way up there. He's like a country guy. You know that, right? Well, I guess
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a hood.
Uh,
There's a hood in fucking Wyoming. Where?
Peoples, Peoples, let's go to John. Peoples, I want to read this comment real quick though. Hold on. Terrell Davis, he said, I appreciate the toughness and grit by the Nets. That's the foundation we need going forward. I agree, man. I totally agree. I like to see that grit, and I like the fact that Jordy Fernandez used two challenges in the first half. Like he wasn't letting nothing slide. And what that does, it put pressure on the refs to say, we watch it. If you got to use two challenges, not to say it was smart or not, I thought it was because it shows the refs like, yo, we paying attention to what y'all do. We not letting nothing slide. We know we the role team, and he used both of his challenges. He always uses challenges. I'll always give him credit for that. But again, not to be long winded, we finna go to John so we can go around the panel. Shout out
You
to
don't think
people.
we could have used one of those at the end of the game though?
Yeah, of course,
Oh,
of course we could have. Of course we
thank you,
could have.
Hornets. By the way, thank you,
Um,
Hornets, John.
go ahead,
Oh
John. Talk
yeah,
to
it's,
us,
it's a
man.
little bit. Hey, Breeze. Yeah, listen.
Everything worked out.
Let's start with the obvious, man. Zaire is here right now. He is feeling it. Tonight was his night. I mean, I think he took 6 or 7 threes. He was just active the whole game. He's put himself in a great position to get a contract with us. And I'll be honest with you, I know somebody did a film study saying Keon Johnson could be a Bruce Brown on this team. How about you look at Zaire Williams, man? This guy can be a backup for us. He can start for us. He does many different roles on this team. On-ball defender. He could dunk. He's a
Hold on,
rebounder. Like,
wait. Why did fucking Keon have to catch this straight up?
no, because somebody was
You
saying
can't say the
Keon is
good things that
versatile
you're
like
saying
Bruce
with
Brown.
you don't think because look, from what you said, you just said Keon Johnson, Bruce Brown. I think that's a decent comparison, but that don't got nothing to do with Zaire being good because Zaire ain't a Bruce Brown. He's
Zaire's a
different than
Swiss
that.
Army knife player. If you look at the totality of the season, with Keon, I've seen him be a bull hog a lot of times. And tonight with Miles Turner, remind me of like Trinity from The Matrix, where she does a super kick in slow motion, but it's Miles Turner going, "Bro, you are not going to dunk on me," and he swatted that crap. Like that was what I saw with Keon
Yo,
Johnson. But I just think,
you shouldn't
That
go with
wasn't
the
crap,
two
man. That was a
handed.
good
You
attempt
shouldn't
at the
go two
basket.
handed, right? You should have go one
eh.
handed. You should have go
But yeah,
one handed slam
just
that
getting
shit.
back to it, man. I just think Zaire's just put himself in a great position this year. He fits George's system well. He's done a lot of good things, and I can't wait to see what else he can do if he's on our team next year. He kind of fits the identity we're trying to create. And Maxwell Lewis, shout out to him. The kid was giving a lot of effort tonight, making some good bucket shots. Like he just got a fearless attitude, which I think could fit this team. I don't know what role he would have on this team per se, but he's definitely giving you some good things. And Jordy, Jay, to your point, you've been trying to find some flaws with Jordy's coaching. I feel like this is the first real flaw he's made all season. That challenge he called in like the first 20 seconds of the game. If he would have had that challenge in the fourth quarter when Bankman Thurman kicked into one of our players, the Nets would have had the ball with like 14 seconds to
Facts.
go. So
And
that
I
was one of
find it
Jordy's mistakes
terrible
right
that
there.
they called that call on Cam Johnson the other day, but let Ben Matherin get away with that shit. He got away with tonight.
He kicked his leg out.
Right, right,
That shit was so obvious, man. That
right,
shit is
But when
right.
you don't got a challenge, it's like the refs could do whatever they want.
Right, right,
refs be on some bitch shit.
right. But other than that, though, the Nets gave a lot of effort again tonight. But given the fact that the Pacers are competing with the Bucks for one of those top seeds, I'm all right with
They,
the
they,
results here because the Bucks pick now is still protected with the Pacers getting the win. And right now, if that pick falls under 20, it's looking like a great pick for us in
let
this draft.
let's
I could
go
see it.
Fakers
I could
tonight. Let's go
no,
Fakers.
I could see us drafting somebody with that pick. I could also see us trading with that pick. That Bucks pick is looking really good right now. And to what Hernandez is saying, the Knicks have a really tough schedule to finish the
Let's
season out.
go.
That Knicks
Let
pick could fall to around 24 or
you,
something like that. And
yo.
having two picks,
I got a question for all y'all, man. You think like last maybe like 7-8 games, fucking trash Hicks gonna rest their starters? You probably
that would be. I would be surprised, but
yo, because that probably like
I
6 or
feel good
7
if.
game losing streak. We
Yeah,
need that. We need
listen,
I
that
feel like it's
last
too
one.
many people getting investigated. I think people better be on their best behavior.
yeah,
Nah,
but other
I'm
than
saying,
that,
but
I feel.
they play the whole season. Maybe just I don't know, like but
Yo,
maybe
you
we
ain't
in
see
trouble. Maybe
OKC
we're
is
in
getting
trouble.
investigated for sitting all their starters.
That was just whack. OKC's been killed this year. I think the NBA just busting balls at that
But
point, trying to
no,
find
it's not
them.
about busting balls. It's about fans is there to see the stars. We ain't here to see the bench. Like if y'all healthy, you got to be playing.
Nah, like
Right.
you know how
But
they people with the decent record like getting ready for the playoffs and shit, and then just rest the.
No, I
But
feel
Tom
you,
Thibodeau,
but
whatever the fuck his last name, I don't know what kind of last name is that. Is that
but
shit
Irish?
but
like that,
but
shit like that make people not want to show up to the game.
Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
I'm feeling good about the Bucks and Knicks pick right now. And me and Ice did great on the show yesterday. Shout out to the tip off, killed it last night. Leaf and Scott were on too. It was a great show. If you haven't seen it, definitely tune in to the tip off. Talk about some good potential prospects the Nets are looking into, and that Bucks pick could definitely help us get one of them. So
That that
feeling good about how we're going to finish up the season, and just can't wait to finish up the season so we can draft good this year and start building up the core. I know Breeze is saying that this team might be a superstar away. We got to get the core, man. You got the coach, you've got a culture. Now it's about getting the right pieces and letting this
Bro,
grow the way it
I'm saying,
grow.
hold on. We gotta go around the panel to LM. But if you're gonna mention guys like Maxwell and Zaire Williams, that is the core. Noah Clowney, Cam Thomas, that is the core. That's 4 players. I mean,
Well,
I'm
we don't
not
know
gonna
about
mention.
Maxwell yet.
Hold on. And again, to the draft. I don't know how many of those guys going to be in rotation in the next. I imagine the highest pick we're going to be in rotation, but maybe those other 2 players, maybe the big man takes Claxton's spot, but we'll see. But still, that will only be 2 players. Case in point is what we see in this roster that some of these players, maybe more than 2, maybe more than 3, maybe more than 4, could be part of the quote unquote core of the Brooklyn Nets next season. Because I mean, you don't want to sneeze at Max Lewis and say, "Oh, I don't know," just because you like his potential. I thought he was out for the season, and he
Right, me
came
too.
back. And he came back ready, like, yo, I couldn't wait to do this. I was going to do this I was going to do this before. You know what
Yo,
I'm
when
saying?
he got injured off of Bay 3.
Exactly.
He
You know
tried to show
what I'm
niggas.
saying? So again, I don't want to be long-winded, man. Shout to you though, John. I just think
Appreciate
we
it.
got a lot of the pieces that you're saying, but Let's go to LM. LM, talk to us, man. You watched the game tonight?
Um, yeah, I watched. I mostly was around. I caught it around early in the third quarter. Um, going on into the fourth. Realistically, um, I kind of thought Indiana. I don't know. Like Indy to me seemed like they're a team that the
What
playoffs
a
is different,
horrible
but
team.
you
What a
know they
useless
look like
team.
they may be bounced in the first round,
What a fucking
depending on
useless
how it
They
looked
team.
like.
trash.
I know Halliburton wasn't playing, so I'll give them that. But
No, they're really
they
bad.
not
No,
a
no, you
team.
on point.
They're
They're
not
really
a
bad.
team that really look like they going anywhere. Um, Other than that, shout out to what John said was Zaire. He's looking like a core
Right.
bench piece that you can use. Um, Trendon Watford, played really good tonight. The scuffle was funny. I'm not even gonna lie. Like he got ejected, but judging by the clip, it looked like he started it. So, but you know,
Nah, I don't know. It depends how that's how they did it. It was probably the cameras in Indiana making it seem like that, but because it looked like
yeah, it looked like he was bullying, not bullying, but it looked like he pushed them hard, like, and then he pushed them again or whatever, and then he got
I
into
no,
his
to
face.
me, I don't. It looked like Trendon Watford started, or it looked like Trendon Watford just wanted to get distance. He tried to like you in his space, like yo, get out my space. You in my face, get out my face. Like, and I think he wanted that space, so he pushed him back. Like, you ain't gonna get the up on me. Like, I'm gonna give you. If you're not gonna give me the space, I'm gonna make space. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think shout out to Trendon
Yeah,
Watford.
I don't think he needed an ejection for that though. Like, I think the ejection, he could have just gotten a check and they could have
Nah,
played on.
Trendon Watford
Like,
was
it was,
talking mad shit when he was breaking it up. He was like, "Yo, you lucky these people in front of me." Like,
That was
he
his
was so,
second tech, though. Wait,
he
Ellen, that was his
yo, bro,
second
nah,
tech, though, so he
he
had to
they,
get ejected,
bro,
unfortunately.
yeah,
okay, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, nah, he was. I'm not gonna lie, that was a scuffle, scuffle up.
Yeah, I ain't
I
gonna
thought
lie,
there were
but
punches, but then it just hand swats.
I like seeing that though. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be the enforcer. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Ooh.
I like seeing that on the court. You got to have guys on here that has grit, that has they not gonna back down, and look like Wofford is one of those guys. So I appreciated that. They of course they got the win. It is what it is. But I found it funny. Miles Turner to me, the Miles Turner block. I thought Keon was about to get a body, but he had other plans.
Because he
That
made a
was
mistake.
actually,
You won with two-handed dunk and shit. You should have won with
you know what I
one-handed.
mean.
You got mad vertical.
I like the
You got
attempt though. At least
mad vertical. That's crazy.
somebody on this team going to attempt to try to dunk on somebody. I mean, it might
Right,
as
that's
well
what I'm
be him.
saying. I like the
Like,
decision of him going to the rack. I like that.
yeah. So I got to give him credit for that. Other than that, it is what it is. We lost. I think Toronto's about to
Thank
play
you,
Golden
Pacers.
State.
Thank you, Pacers.
Toronto's about to play Golden State in a few, so we'll see what happens there. Um,
They
right
gonna
now, I'm just
lose.
watching the tournament, man. I ain't gonna lie, this bracket shit. Most of my teams lost, so it's good. I'm just watching St. John's right now.
I,
And
I heard it's
going
been
between
upset.
St. John's and Michigan. Yeah, man. Most people's brackets is ruined. It's a wrap. Everybody's seen lost. Texas got eliminated, so Trey is out of there. Uh, so I think tomorrow Jeremiah Fears play in Queen. Um, in Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag is going to be back tomorrow. Um, coming from the injury, so that's where everybody's going to look at tomorrow to see what happens there. But yeah, man, it's
What
real
time that
so
game
far.
come?
March
What time that
Madness
game
is
come on? What time that game come on, Ellen?
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Let
you
me.
say Cooper Flag gonna play tomorrow?
Yeah. He making his debut for the first time in the March Madness.
Here we go.
Actually, let me check. And I'm glad too, cause there
I
is a
just get back to
chance.
us. Just get back to us,
Yeah,
man.
but other than that, pretty good game. You know what I'm saying? It came down to the wire. Uh oh, come on at 2:50 tomorrow, in case anybody want to check it out. 2:50 in the afternoon. Um, But other than that, pretty close game. You know what I'm saying? The players play their heart out as usual. You know, they gonna always do that. But I will agree. I am a fan of bringing Zaire back. I like his improvement. He's been improving, and I think he's played better on over here than he did on Memphis. Like he catch and shoot game has improved. The handle, the defense. Like he can really be a unique weapon coming off the bench for us. So you know, if you added him to the core, then you know I feel like you got something there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying?
We got to get
All right.
Clangston out of here, man.
All
Soon
right.
as
I'm
Now,
not
possible.
even mentioning Clarkson.
Yo, as soon as possible,
nah, it's
yo.
all good. Hold
I'm
on,
not
hold
even
on, hold on.
mentioning Clarkson.
Soon as
It's
Oh
all
possible.
wait, hold
good.
on. Before we move on, Clarkson lost a jump ball to Matthew. That to
Yo,
me
that's
is
yo
just
the
sick.
whole
That was
game.
nasty
This
work.
guy.
He was a
But
minus 12 tonight. That's
Yo,
wild.
he's been yo. It's not that. Y'all gotta see his body language, man. This guy quit. He
He
fucking
walked
quit
the
because he
ball at
know
the
Jordy's
end.
about to get him the fuck out of here. You know that, right? In the off season, watch,
I don't know
watch.
about that.
You'll
We'll
see.
see. But,
You'll see,
It would
yo.
it
You'll
would be
see.
good
but
for
losing
that.
the jump ball to Matthew is nasty work. I know Matthew got hops, but you 6'11", bro. Like there's no way you should have lost that jump ball. But
And then on that fast break, he tried to scare Matherin, but he still got the layup and one. Do you see him?
Right.
He trying to scare him like before you got yo that
Gave
shit.
one
up the
thing we need to
and one
improve
was
is
crazy.
our interior presence, man. Like
Yeah.
these players be coming into the paint just laying it up, just going in, and I'm like, yo, we need a better interior presence. Like this should not be happening in terms of we really got Claxton block shots from time to time on the
And
weak
why
side,
Sharp didn't
but
play in the second half or some shit? I don't even know why the fuck he didn't play. They were on
the
Sharp. Was he
reason
in foul trouble? What the fuck
what's
happened?
holding Sharp back from being a starter is foul trouble. Like he tends to get in foul
Oh,
trouble a
He
lot.
had no fouls though tonight though,
He
LM.
had no
So
fouls. Yeah,
to
good. Yeah,
Cornelius' point, he could have been in that overtime, but
yo,
yeah,
yo,
he's
wasn't.
yo,
improving in that. I'll give him that. But
yo, John. Miles Turner didn't have
Hold
these
on,
numbers in a
hold on,
while, man. He
hold on, people
loved
and
playing
John.
against Victoria.
Hold on, people and John. We gotta go to Leaf. Go ahead,
He
LM.
loved that shit.
yeah, yeah. Nah, I'm gonna pass the ball to Leaf. I pretty much, got my soliloquy on. Go ahead, Leaf.
Listen, it's real simple. We played a good defensive game tonight. We forced like 20 something goddamn turnovers. Zaire was the only person that shot well. Everybody else shot like shit. But defensively, everybody showed up. Everybody showed grit. Somehow, some way, I knew we was gonna fuck around and lose that game. We was dominating most of the first half, bro. They tried to come back. We pushed the lead to 10, said 12, bro. Probably like a second, third quarter. Our first half's been Debo as fuck, bro. Like it's just the second half, bro. Like the shit start winding down. But one thing I can say is that like tonight's matchup, the nigga Trendon Watford was little man in all of these niggas. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. Like because the Indiana Pacers don't have no legitimate defenders on their team. They tried to throw Neesmith on them, bucket. They tried to throw Turner on them. Turner is everybody know Turner is a weak side help defender, bucket. They tried to throw anybody on them was a bucket. They as at a point where they had to double, where they had to sneak the double team out on the weak side where he was in the post. Once he got ejected for the game, bro, I already knew the shit was over. I was just like, all right, it's a
So
wrap.
hold on. Do
Like,
you hold it Leaf? Do you hold it against T Watt that he don't play above the rim? Because Iceman said he don't like T Watt. So I don't know what's happening.
I don't. I no.
Damn.
I listen.
He got flaws too. I mean, just like
He definitely
most
got
players.
flaw. He definitely
Just like
got
most players.
flaws, but like, and I've seen it, bro. When in the previous games when they put the better defenders on him, I seen it. But bro, he ain't want nothing for Caruso when we played the Thunder. He ain't want nothing for Marcus Smart when we played Washington. And them niggas, and when you put them type of defenders on him, bro, he don't have nothing for them because he really on because his move set, bro, is really
Oh
key
yeah,
to key
that that
base.
that, that dribbling
That's a good
skills kind of
mention,
make
Leaf.
me
Yeah,
That's a
nervous.
yeah.
good
His his
point.
his
Yeah.
move his move his move set ain't really as elite as everybody think it is. And when he could get to the floater, he could get to it. But when you got those type of defenders on him and he can't get to it, bro, I see 1 for 7, 0 for 4. He
That's
passing the
bad.
ball,
That's
like
bad.
that type of shit. So like he's not forcing the issue unless he has a complete mismatch. Tonight he had a complete mismatch, bro. Like Indiana's wing defenders, Benedict Arnold and all these other niggas, bro. These niggas is boys. Like these niggas is juniors out there, bro. Like all of them,
Yeah,
bro. Like
if
they.
you put a strong guy on him and shit, you're not doing much. You're right though. That's why I see the same shit with Wofford. That's his
Exactly, but
weakness.
but
That's his weakness.
I mean, listen. Only thing I like, I was in a mood tonight, bro, because since when in the Indiana Pacers is a physical team? Like these niggas is finesse team, bro. They ain't play physical since the '90s, bro. Like the tactics they was pulling tonight, man, with the little shoving and trying to shove back. Miles Turner trying to get tough when we all know he applesauce. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm like, listen, like that's a team that clearly gonna miss Halliburton again because Halliburton back is bothering him. He tried to take a floater and a shoot around and he landed, bro. He was grimacing, bro. Like, and
Yeah,
he was a game time decision tonight, and he wasn't gonna play. So,
Lee.
I
Was he
Hold
was,
mean,
on,
was he wearing the
hold on, hold on,
Pacers
hold on,
fucking
hold on. Time out,
raincoat,
y'all.
man?
Hold on. I got a shout
What
out
he
to
We got
had?
a donation. We got a donation,
Hold
fellas.
on. Sorry, shout out to Akeem Benny Trust the Nest Rebuilding. He a moderator on his page. He sent the $5 super chat. He says salute to you too. Know what I'm saying? Moderator on his page. So anytime you jump in the chat, you got it lit. We appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, we just talking basketball, man. BTP said true. Leaf always right. Go ahead, Leaf.
listen, but about Zaire, everything I said about Zaire from the beginning of the season was 100% true. I knew he was somebody that was willing to run through. He was one of the first people to on his team to run through a wall for Jordy, bro. And it's been like that ever since he came back from the injury. A lot of people thought he was out. He came back from the injury, bro, like and came back strong, unlike somebody on our team. But at the same time, bro, like at the same time, all of that being said, bro, like
Oh, taking
all
shots. Taking shots.
all of that being said though, bro, like listen, but most of the niggas that we had out there tonight, the young players, all of these niggas is bench players. All of them is realistically bench players, and that includes Zaire Williams. We need a goddamn starting five, bro.
I put him
It's
above.
time to
Right,
start
good
going
point.
it's time to start going shopping this offseason, bro. Like listen,
I don't
if
know
we
if
So
we're
if
going
we
shopping, Leaf. I don't know about that.
hold on. Let's when you let's pass it to Iceman because I want to stay with
Oh, you-
because Ice agree with me, but that's when last game Zaire Williams scored 15. Tonight he scored 22. So I'm just trying to figure out like how many points we expect from Zaire Williams. Because when you and is he possibly in the MIP conversation or am I taking it too far?
you taking it too far, you taking it way too far. One,
he's
he was
gotten
out.
Who
He
in
better.
the MIP
one.
better more than him right now, bro?
Well, one, he don't qualify because he was out so many games. Remember, so like he
Okay.
don't even
Oh,
qualify for
oh.
that shit.
He been
So
working on his
the
three pointer though. He been
he
working on
has
it.
been working on his 3 pointer,
He's
bro. It's a
better from
lot of
last season to this season. I know that for sure.
he ain't get no
Right,
play.
right.
Yeah,
Much
yeah,
much better
of course,
releasing.
yeah. He
Much better
definitely
releasing.
improved, bro. But like he came from a team that he wasn't even getting no clock on. Like that's what that was, bro. Like even when the Grizzlies was tanking, and basically had John Morant out for the season, and they only had Triple J and a bunch of young players. He still wasn't even getting no clock. They was playing GG Jackson and them niggas over him. So
Bro,
Right.
but that's
realistically,
what I'm
so
saying. From last year to this year, I mean, what's the improvement? That's what I'm gonna look at. I want to see how many what he's averaged. It was like 10 points, I believe.
His 3 point shot is like over 50% since January. Best on the team. That is a huge
Yeah, three
improvement.
point
I would
shot. He
take
been
that
working on
for
that shot
Zaire.
though. Definitely.
That's gotten
his
much
three
better.
point shot since the deadline has been on the top on our team. But at the same
Right.
outside of maybe CJ, bro. But I noticed we didn't have CJ tonight neither. But
Whew.
realistically, bro, like listen, we need a legitimate starting five. We got the bench players, bro. Like it's time to go get a starting five. I ain't like it's
Listen,
time
let me
it's time to
leave
start
before
going robbing and shopping this season, bro. Like I
Leaf,
ain't gonna
Gotta
lie.
Leaf,
get rid
before
of the
hold
cancer
on,
first.
Leaf,
You know
Leaf.
who the
Before we
cancer
go to
is.
ice, let me ask you
You
this.
know who the
Before we go to
cancer is.
Escrow, let me ask you this. Seeing us without CJ doing the play by play, what you think the difference is between the two teams?
I think the difference is instant offense in terms of like the cuts and the curls because CJ run a lot of the off ball stuff, like probably the best on our team. He's brought into the X and O system right away, bro. Like a lot of the times and a lot of games where he was out there to when you look at the games this season that CJ had, the top games, shit, he was looking like fucking Reggie Miller. I like go back to that game where we played Atlanta and he was tight that he didn't get the damn 4-point play. Fourth quarter, he said, "Fuck it, I'm shooting everything, and I'm hitting everything," and he wound up with 28-7. It's games where he wound up with 28-12. He still got the height to rebound and make plays and do a lot of things to fit in on what Jordy wants to bring to the X's and O system. But so that's the thing that was really missing, bro. Like anytime you got to start Tyrese Martin, you fucked, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Ooh, damn, that hurt. That hurt for Ice, man.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Anytime, yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, Ice. I'm gonna throw the ball to you in a minute, but your man's is cookie though, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like
Dog
he
water.
not that nigga is the spot. He is the spot up shooter off the bench, legitimately, bro. Like that, nothing more,
He just
nothing
said
less.
cookie dough.
He is
I
cookie
can't.
though,
What Tyrese Martin did, yo?
Yo,
bro.
seriously, I know he's
The
been steady
second, the
Eddie,
second
but
that
yeah.
Wofford got ejected, bro, Indiana attacked him 9 times out of 10 at a high successful rate. A high successful rate, bro. They had anybody that got the ball. They had Tyrese Martin on them, bro, and on the one-on-one situation, that was the play. That was literally the play. And they lost Nemhart tonight, bro, like off of another technical foul, and they still had TJ McConnell out there being a pest. I'm like, yo, bro, like, listen, after all of that, bro, it's clear as day, bro. We don't have a core. We got a bench. We need to go out there. It's time to go robbing and shopping this offseason, bro. Like, fuck it. Listen, tell the NBA, run that top 3 pick, run me the people that I need out of this draft, and then we go do the rest in some trades and some trades and get off some of these contracts. That's it. That's all. Bounce pass.
Wow.
Yo,
Hey, Ice.
Go
what's
ahead,
good?
Ice. You're not
Oh,
defending Tyrese Martin tonight, neither.
shit. You know what I mean? I stand with my guys, man. I don't see nothing wrong with what you're saying, but you gotta think he's not. I don't think Tyrese is a starter for one, right? But I do think he's inconsistent, and he needs to be consistent to actually stay on the team. For two, everybody on the bench is averaging almost 10 points. He averaged 9, so he ain't much difference from anybody else that you're talking about. You know what I mean? Tonight, other than that, tonight it was a Zaire, um, and Watford and a D'Lo game. Everybody else is all right. You know what I'm saying? Did what they could do. You know what I mean? Had bad shooting nights, but you know what I'm saying? They played good defense and they gave the game up at the end.
So
They
what about
did, but I
Zion
mean,
Williams?
but
What you think about Zion?
Hooping. Zaire hooping. He's starting to look like he was a standout higher pick. You know what I mean? He's starting to stand out from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? He's standing out from Tyrese, he's standing out from Watford. He looked different. He moved different. You know what I mean? He's scoring different. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, like, yeah, he could hoop. You know what I'm
I
saying? He's
mean,
starting
he
to
he
show
was
that.
a top 10 pick, bro. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's starting to stand out. And the rest, like you said, the rest of the guys is bench guys. Now, which bench guys do you want to keep? Because they all do. You know what I mean? They're all averaging around the same point, which I
and
said
Yeah,
all,
you
was
gotta
good.
make decisions.
and
You're right.
all
You're
them
right.
all them niggas was bench guys tonight, man.
But you're right, Lee. That's what I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying? And later on, they got to make a decision because, like I said, the whole bench is average. I think even Tucson from G League was averaging like
Yo,
9, 10 points on the
Don't
bench.
bring his
yo,
name up.
nah. Yo, why you was hating on Tucson
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Walmart,
Jay.
man? You a hater,
Yeah,
Lee.
Jay. Yeah. I
Hating
got
on
to think of,
Tucson
hey,
Bro,
from
you know
I
Walmart.
got,
damn
hold on, hold on,
well
hold on,
that
You
nigga
get a
hold
nigga
on.
CJ
like that from Walmart and you ungrateful?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. He gave
yeah.
himself
ungrateful.
free.
Hey,
Ungrateful. What I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
grateful for?
ungrateful.
hold on,
He ain't better than none of the niggas that touched
hold,
the court tonight.
hold on. Jordy even said like the only reason that he not playing is because of his contract. You know, he played
Right.
too many
Right, Ice.
games
Right.
already. But if he was playing, if he could play more games, bro, he'll be playing. Trust, he'll be in the game playing. They think Tucson is nice like that. You know what I'm saying? Jordy was even they was even thinking about saying they said that if he continued to play like that, he'll probably be starting.
Other teams got to argue about Ron Holland and Castle and all the other these
You
niggas, and
talking
we got to
about
argue about
Tosan, bro?
Tosan, bro.
This
Yeah,
shit
Hey,
this
is
is what I'm talking about. This
Insufferable,
draft
disgusting.
bro.
need to hurry up, bro. This
hey,
draft
hey,
needs to
don't sleep
Yo,
hurry
this
on
up.
season
don't
gotta
sleep.
end now,
Nah,
bro.
man,
Like
don't
this
sleep
shit is
on it. Nah,
ridiculous.
Only 12 more games, Leaf. It's gonna
This is
happen
nah,
quick. Don't
nah,
worry.
disgusting, bro.
Moving
don't
Let
on.
Ice
don't sleep
finish.
on
Let
it.
Hey,
Ice finish.
nigga, bro,
Go ahead, Ice.
niggas is
Hold
trying to
on.
tell me to put some
Hold,
respect on
hold,
Tosan.
Yeah,
hold on.
Hold
Let
hold
Ice
on.
on.
finish. Let Ice finish.
You got to put
Roll
respect
back the prices.
on anybody that's making 40,000, like Breeze said,
Yeah.
out of the G League. If you make 40,000 and you get a contract and you make 2 mil, like you got to put some respect on anything, man. You know what I'm saying? They grinding, they doing their thing. They made the team. They may not be the best player. They may not, you know what I'm saying? May not be a first round pick or nothing like that. But they, you know what I'm saying? They come up here and hoop.
The
You know what I'm
fact
saying?
that the fact that we put him on our team to begin with just shows you what type of season that we have, and we are in the shitter,
It's
bro.
not,
Like,
it's
yo,
not,
listen,
no. Time out.
Maxwell Lewis came in
Time
and
out.
put in
Time out.
work
Come on.
against
Come on.
two of the
Let Ice
top
finish. Let Ice
teams
finish.
Hold
in
on.
the
Hold on. Hold on.
East.
Hold on. Hold on. How many G Leaguers have been signed to rosters this season? If you can tell me that, then I'll let you have it. You know what I mean? I bet you can't tell me how many G Leaguers came up and down from the G League, not just to our roster, but to the league, to the NBA itself.
Hell no, I couldn't tell you that.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So don't say that about our team, like, oh, well, this is what type of season we having. Every team has brought D leaguers up and put them on the roster and kept some on the roster and sent some back down to the G League and then went to some other teams. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
it ain't
Oh,
because our team is bad or nothing like that. It's just because, you know what I'm saying, the G League is there, they got players down there. You know what I mean?
I got a better question, Ice. How many teams over 500 have bought up G leaguers
A
and
lot.
bought them back down?
A lot. I
Go
just said
ahead, go
for
ahead.
the
You must
whole
got the number, bro. If you telling me a lot, but
I'm just saying. It's a lot.
and how
Trust.
many of them niggas plug the minutes that the niggas on our team is plugging? Because
Different
and took the
situations.
shots that the
Di-
niggas on our team is taking.
different
We got
situations
niggas
for
from the
different
G League
players.
taking 10 plus shots a game when they get here. That's
Different
crazy.
situations for different players. You know what I
No,
mean?
hold on,
Everybody
hold
don't
on.
got the same situation.
Time out. Can I get Leaf and Ice to debate G League players, the quality of the G League players, and how they should be in the rotation opposed to whoever else we could get, whether it be a free agent or a draft pick? I just want to hear them go back and forth. Go ahead.
I go first, bro. Listen, G League players, bro. Listen, at max, depending on how the team is playing, at max, for most of the 500 plus teams, bro. I mean, Miami is clearly the anomaly because they brought in G Leaguers and had them niggas starting with Jimmy and them niggas. But for the most part, they could get to the seventh or tenth or ninth man on the roster. Depends on how the coach is running the team. If you playing for Tom Thibodeau, you can kiss that shit goodbye. If you playing for somebody that runs like a 7 man rotation night after night, you can kiss that shit goodbye. But if you're playing for somebody like Jordy and who likes to run 9 to 10 10 man rotations, and you know you got players that want to rest for the next game, like an important game, like when we went from playing the Cavs to the Celtics, and then we had Maxwell Lewis come up and show out. Don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with these players. They got the athleticism, they got the hustle, and they got the will to want to stay. But let's be honest, when it comes to them, as compared to top 1 through 7, 500 rosters, bro. Like we all know, the gap is the G League talent to the NBA talent. That's where the gap is. And that's knowing how to play the NBA game as opposed to playing the G League game and being a journeyman. You might we might have signed some niggas that was in Turkey or some foreign country, bro, and they come over here and they got to figure out how to navigate around the referees, how to navigate around screens, how to avoid certain tendencies and read certain matchups on the chalkboard and on the scouting report. Those things come into play when you bringing them players up. They have the athleticism, yes. They have the ability, yes. They have the skill set, yes. But the thing is, do they have the consistent 1 through 7 rotation NBA skill set? A lot of them do not. Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Max Struess. They listen. Don't get me wrong. Those players got paid for what they did. But if you
Huh?
look at what they doing now, bro, maybe only one or two of them niggas is still relevant.
That's not the point.
Okay. Okay. Let's make some valid points. Go ahead, Ice.
All right. So what was the question again?
The
What was
question more so
G
the
I'm
League
asking
players.
Ice is just can you explain the value? Because this is my perspective, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that to an extent, Leaf scoffs at G League players, and he thinks that you overvalue them. And I just want you to kind of defend the G League
oh,
players because he's definitely going at the G League players.
I got it. I definitely got it. I don't look. You know what I'm saying? People, like I said, when you go down to the G League, it's not about necessarily the talent gap, right? It's either you got something that you need to work on that is not where it needs to be. Keon had um Keon had to be more consistent in defense. Tyrese Martin had to just be consistent. That was the only thing keeping him out of the NBA. That was the only thing keeping Keon out of the NBA. Those small things, and it's not small, but when you hear it, you be like, hold on. So he in the G League because you know what I'm saying his defense ain't up to par. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? So when you say the talent gap, it's not a talent gap. It's just certain things certain players have to work on. And if you've got somebody down there like Drew Timmy right now that's averaging, I mean, he ain't averaging that much, but he's putting up double doubles, 30 and 12, 30 and 15, triple doubles. You know what I'm saying? And everybody like, yo, and we gonna call Drew Timmy up to the is a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? The reason why he's not in the NBA because his defense. He could pass, he could shoot, you know what I'm saying? Run the pick and roll. He played for Long Island. He could be called up at any time. But one thing is keeping him out of the league. It ain't his talent because he's down there. He can't even be stopped down there in the G League. You know what I mean? So if you can't be stopped down there in the G League, that tells you that you're too good to be down there. But there's something keeping you out of the NBA, and what is it? You know what I mean? So you go down there to work it on it. Cam Thomas, you know what I'm saying? Daron Sharp, Noah Clowney. How many you know what I'm saying? People want Noah Clowney on the team, and he was drafted, but he had to get himself together, go down there and work. Tariq Whitehead injury, you know what I'm saying? Could have been a top lotto pick down there in the G League working. Once he get himself together, you know where he's going back on the roster. You know what I'm
Hold
saying?
on.
Well, we don't
Let's
know about
hold on,
Whitehead
No, no,
Ice.
no.
We
Time
don't
out,
know
time out,
that.
time out, time out, time out.
I'm
He'll
just
be
saying.
back.
I'm just saying. The reason why he's
Ice,
down there is
Ice,
because of injury.
time out.
Right,
Yeah.
right, 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 right. I'll
Ice,
give you that. I'll give you that.
time out. I was with you until you said Cam Thomas. Now, for one, Cam Thomas went down there for one game to score like 50.
No. Hold on,
Tyrese
Bree.
Martin was there for 2 years.
Hold.
Ooh.
Cam Thomas went down there because he couldn't pass. You know what I'm saying? It's the one thing. It was the one thing that I'm talking about. The one thing that sent him down there is because he couldn't pass. His scoring, like I said, everybody knew he could score, but he could not pass. And if I could find a video of Cam Thomas in the G League trying to pass, I guarantee you, be like, oh, he's a way better passer now.
You talking
You
about
know what
he
I'm saying?
can't pass? He went to the G League and scored 50. He still ain't
No,
passed.
I know what Ice is
Exactly.
talking about. I know what Ice is talking about.
Exactly. You're making my point, Breezy. You're making my point. He couldn't pass. He was just a scorer. That's the reason why they sent him to the G League. And that's my point about the guys down there. It's one thing that might keep them out of the NBA. Cam was too good to stay down there because he could do that. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't be stopped in the G League putting up 50. So they're like, you know what? Let's just get him out of here. You know what I mean? And see if he can do it.
But
Like the video, Shaq.
here's the
Like the
thing
video.
about said bad team about teams that's under 500. There's always a spot for a G League nigga on their team. That's where we are. Like, there's plenty of spots for G League niggas on teams that's under 500. Them teams that's over 500, bro. Miami is the only anomaly, and you might add maybe one or two players from other teams that's on 500. And the things that they're responsible for doing is the things that Zaire did tonight: defend, hit the spot up shot, do all the intangible shit, make the right play, make the right pass. They don't want you to do nothing else. Mostly, what they want you to do is play off the ball, a la Max Struess, a la Caleb Martin, a la Gabe Vincent. I love those guys, bro. Those guys made their money as spot up shooters, bro. And when they made the finals, they finally got top dollar, and now they on other teams. And like I said in my last statement, It's only probably one of them niggas that's still relevant, and that's Max Strus, because he played for the Cavaliers, who are in first place in the league. All the
That's
rest of
not,
them niggas do not matter.
that's not
Right,
true.
and Breezy, you're asking for evidence of what Ice is saying. I specifically remember when Steve Nash was still the coach. I think it was a summer league game. They interviewed Thomas and said and asked him like what he's been looking to improve on, and Thomas said, "Oh, the coach wants me to improve on playmaking." Thomas kind of gave him like the eye roll. I remember what Ice was talking about there. Like Thomas did have a little problem with distributing the ball, which is not as big of a problem anymore. But I knew what Ice was referencing there.
It was like my thing is the summer league. The first thing they wanted him to do is change the way he got to the NBA. I disagree with it. I know that's
Mm.
what it was, but if the first thing I do, I know I got to the NBA because I am a natural born scorer. And now the first thing you want me to do is become a playmaker. Now I'm just this elite point guard that can score and play make. No, let me do what I do, and then play develop me into that instead of asking for it so early in his career. So again, I disagree with it. I just wanted to show this to for the credit whoever it belongs to, whether you pro or con. It says for the 2024-2025 NBA season, each NBA team is permitted to have up to 3 players under two-way contracts on its roster at any time. Now, what I'm saying is they have to value G League players if they given 3 contracts, three under two-way. Like, hold on, NBA team is permitted to have up to 3 players under two-way contracts. So that's 3 players coming from the G League. You can't tell me that they don't value the talent in the G League if three out of what 10 in the rotation, and that's the most. Most coaches is 8 man roster, 8 man rotation, maybe a 9 man rotation. The Brooklyn Nets do a 10 man rotation. You know what I'm saying? G League contracts
So
they
how
make
many? Wait. So how many of them two-way players, bro, is getting legitimate minutes on plus 500 teams? Because I know they got to be on the roster. The roster is 1 through 12, and I highly doubt, bro, a team is out here playing 1 through 12 for our whole season. And they might. The only time them players might get minutes is when other players on the team is resting. That's the only time, and they probably practice more times than they see game time. That's the only time. So those players that you mentioned and that's on them two-way contracts, that's on them plus 500 teams. If you add just them, they're only seeing time 9 times out of 10. If they're doing what Zaire Williams is doing consistently, or if they other starters on the team and other starters on the rotations on the better teams and on the top 500 teams is getting rest. I seen somebody the
listen,
night when we
listen,
played Boston, bro. I don't even know his name. Somebody named Baylor Sherman done cooked us for 20.
Taylor
Don't know where it
Sherman.
listen,
came
listen,
from.
listen. Right, but no, but that's the point. Again, let me further read, right? It says some two-way players from 2023 to the 2024 season inked 2-year contracts and remain under contract for this season, while others have been newly signed. Additionally, players eligible for a veteran extension who are on an expiring deal can sign a new contract throughout the league year up to June 30th, the day before they become free agents. And again, this is life-changing money. You go from 40,000 to 2 million. These guys is playing with heart. You know what I'm saying? And they in that space between making the NBA team and college, and they making money playing basketball, and they know they can make some real money going to the NBA. And I'm saying that this playing for the NBA team, and they are not shy to that. They are fully aware of that. Keon Johnson, everybody say he's seen his potential. You don't think in his mind he was thinking about changing his life?
Yes,
I'm
I
telling
do.
you, man. And think about how they play in the summer league. You like, yo, wow, these players are so great. It's not so much that they so great. They play with so much effort because the money always going to have
That's true.
some kind of passion and willpower to play. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna always, you know what I mean, be the one going for the loose balls, the scrappy ones, the ones that's you see how Keon Johnson, I'm telling you, I ripped that ball out of his hand like I ain't going back to the G League, man. I don't care what nobody
Hey,
says.
listen. Hey, I agree with you, bro. Like, and two things I want to touch on before we keep this conversation going. Listen, about those G League players, bro. That's changing their lives from being 5 figures, bro, to being $2 million guys and whatever, bro. Obviously, they're gonna tax the money because it's the NBA. So they're probably still walking around with 7 figures, bro, at the end of the season if they do get that money guaranteed. A lot of those guys, bro, they definitely seize the opportunity on getting on the roster and definitely earning their money. But the thing is, a lot of those guys could turn into, all right, yo, I got my contract, bro. Like I'm cool. I will work my ass off just to get here, bro. Now I gotta work my ass off to stay. That's not to say
Yeah,
anything. That's
but
not to
I
say
will say,
anything
hold
about
on.
our players.
Listen,
That's not.
listen, and listen. That's both sides of the coin. But what I will say is this: playing for Jordy Fernandez, if you ain't that, you ain't gonna be on this team.
I agree.
Hold on,
I
I want to
agree.
get the Reala 88. Hold on. Let me get to Reala 88 moderator. He a moderator on this page. Let me get to his comment. He said, "No way." He's talking about Cam Thomas. He said, "No way he was going to switch his game to a playmaking guard overnight. It's taking time and patience. Now he looks like he is finding his place, not just on this roster, but in the league as well. Again, a statement game, if there ever was one. The last time Cam Thomas played, he had 10 assists, and then he quote unquote got injured. Now, my point is that that's a statement game that's showing the Brooklyn Nets and the rest of the NBA I can do both. I can be a playmaker like y'all asking me to do, and y'all know I want to score the ball. Y'all know this already. So you know what I'm saying? And then he follows up. He says, Reality 88, a moderator. He goes, Nets' best asset is cap space, not picks. The financial flexibility advantage they have going into the offseason is what can potentially turn this franchise around quickly. No other team comes close. I kind of disagree.
The only
I
this,
think their
yeah,
best
I
asset
gotta,
is the pick.
I,
I disagree with that. But
No,
go
I
ahead,
actually
Lee.
agree
What you
with
got?
it.
I got,
You
yeah,
go first. You go first.
And then
I
I
got
want Ellen
pushback on that.
to
But the
answer that
reason
question.
I got
Go ahead,
pushback on
Lee. Go
that, the
ahead. You
reason
said something.
being is because there's yeah. The only reason why I got pushed back on that is because there's nobody on the free agency list that we look for. The players that we looking for is the players that we want to trade for that's been attached to all-star type of quality name. That's number one. Number two, bro, like we still got two 20-something million-dollar players on the books in Cam Johnson and Claxton. So the thing is that if we really want to like get legitimate NBA players, I'm not talking about two-way players. I'm not talking about guys that's going to go down to the G League and then come back up. If we really want to get legitimate NBA players, it's going to start in this draft. And when one of these hot with a top three pick, and the second thing that we're gonna have to do if we get that top three pick, and if we damn sure get Cooper, we gotta go after like if we want this to work right away. If we want this to work as fast as possible, we got to go after a start trade for a star this offseason. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's just that simple.
This
And then
offseason is terrible
Uh,
free agency,
Damn,
bro.
y'all,
Terrible free
you be
agency.
wait, can
switching
I
I
your
didn't
respond
say
shit
to
up a
Lee?
lot.
I didn't say free agency. I didn't say free agency. Listen, I said trade. I said if you we're gonna get Coop. If in the event that we get Cooper flag, I'm almost 100% certain that we're going to trade for a star to pair alongside of him.
Can I just bounce off of what Lee's trying to say? And I think Rahul's question answer is really good. I think the cap space flexibility is so important. I think the draft picks are very important this year. He agrees with. I think what he's trying to say is overall, a lot of these picks are not going to be draft picks. They're going to be most likely trade chips. So having cap space flexibility this summer is important for us. Like Leaf just said, if you can get a Johnson and Claxton off the books, get some expiring salary, get some more draft capital, you can better position yourself for 2026 free agency where there are better options. The free agency this summer isn't good. And you talk about trade chips, Leaf. The only stars that we're connected to, who kind of a lot of people on this panel have baggage with, like Giannis, Zion, LaMelo, and Trae Young. Like, is the gamble worth it if you get a Cooper, Ace, or Harper trying with on stars? We have to give up a lot to get those guys. And I think for the Nets this summer, setting yourself up for the following year might make more logical sense than trying to go for it right away because we've done that before and we've gotten snake bit. And I think we can prepare ourselves a little better while still trying to enhance this rebuild a little quicker. I just don't think this quick this summer is the right idea right now, Lee, just from what is available right now.
All right, so hold on. Yeah, I like that. But let's go to LM. LM, what's
But you
more
never know
important? The
what's
picks?
available.
You
Right.
Well,
never
But
those
no,
know.
four
what's
guys I
more
mentioned could be available, and I don't know if they fit us right now because we don't have a core, like Leaf's saying, which I agree with. We need a core if you're going to make a move for a star. We don't have that
listen,
right now.
hold on. Two things I want to say. Two things I wanted to say is let's go to LM and then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say after that. But I want to know if LM value the picks or the free agency more.
Well, definitely the picks, the free. There's nothing in the free agency right now. It's a desert. Like, and I get what Lee's saying, but realistically, we for them to get a star and Cooper ain't even play an NBA game yet. To me, that's just I don't think that should be the case because you don't know what he is yet.
Right.
I think a star coming here, I don't even think that would be like the case, mostly because it's a you don't know what he is. Like if you're talking about him in his second year, then I can probably see that because we got a glimpse of him his rookie year. It's like, oh, okay,
Right.
you might have something there. All right, good. Let's get a star. We got something here. Like his
Hmm.
rookie year when he hasn't played a game yet, nah. I think they make that move in the 2026 where the free agency is way better. You're
Yes.
probably gonna have a way better arsenal to grab in free agency next year and go for a star. And we got a pick in that draft too. So
Right.
if God willing, if you've been laying top three in that draft, they probably, whoever free agency probably gonna look at that like, yo, they got something over there. I don't mind going to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what
I'll
they
be
got.
honest with you. The only reason why I mentioned it in the scenario that I did is because Cooper's ankle already touched the floor, and the thing is, like they still want him to go number one, and he's still supposed to be playing tomorrow, and we don't know how that ankle injury is going to look. So the thing is like the way my mind work is that the NBA, if they're going to give us this number one overall pick, this said number one overall pick, the
That's
thing
right.
is that they probably want to get the shit cooking right away because the thing is that we're still a top six market, we're still a top six franchise, and the thing is that we could draw free agents a whole lot quicker than the other teams that is going to have lottery picks in this draft anyway, and we could
The,
draw trade and we could draw star quality better. So the
I don't think
thing
right away
so
is gonna
Rip
be his
the,
first
the summer
season though.
free
maybe
agency isn't
let's
that good though, Leaf, and you probably have to
Yeah,
trade
right.
most of what you got
Mind
right
you,
now to get one
we
of these
talking
stars
about
that
if you
you
want to
have.
compare him, if you want to compare him to
Right.
the
the
past
shit that
number
we trading
ones.
is nothing, bro. We probably gonna use the picks to trade for legitimate starting talent anyway. Once we get Cooper up and running,
Right, but Leaf, you talking
after
about
these
the
next two drafts, bro. Like, trust me. Don't listen. The teams that's gonna help us, bro. While
You
we
ain't going
going for the
anywhere
shit that
else,
we
is
going
he?
for this
you're
offseason,
talking about the past number ones that arguably are already better than him that has been drafted. They didn't even get help in their first years. We talking about Ant, Wimby, Paulo, Kate, whatever, whoever you want to talk about. They didn't even get even, and if you want to talk about it Wimby was being talked about when Paulo got drafted. Paulo barely got
no,
coverage his rookie year,
I know, but
so they didn't even get help.
You want to know what the difference is, bro? It's placement. We're in the Tribeca. Wimby is in San Antonio. That ain't no real market to draw nobody yet. Like that's why for starters they had to get De'Aaron Fox. That's a good start for them. If you
Bro, that's
Zion, that ain't no real market to
hold
draw
on,
people
Jimmy.
yet.
I don't think
Nah,
if the market is
I
the
don't
I
think
don't think the
that.
market has anything to do with it. I
It
think
is because we
It,
got the
they
it,
money.
contemplating
hold
Cooper
on,
Flag going to San Antonio right now.
hold on. The
You think
market,
that's their
The market
market?
got
They're winning
everything to do with it. That's
championship
how we
south.
got Katie and Kyrie in the first place because we got the
Nah,
money.
I don't think it's the. They resume speaks for itself. They what they done is bigger than the market, and they already rebuilding in there anyway. They got a freaking Louis Vuitton Wemby ad in San Antonio, and they talking about building another freaking stadium in the city. So he's already having an effect on that market itself just by him being there. I'm not saying San
That is
Antonio
true.
is New York because it's not New York. I
That
agree,
is yeah,
but
yeah,
him
but that yeah.
himself is changing the infrastructure of that market. Period.
yeah, but he's just trying to tell you
Go.
that in Brooklyn it'll be a different pressure to make it
Yes.
happen faster.
That
I
yeah,
agree, but it's not. I don't think it's
it'll
going
be
to
a
be
more.
Cooper's first year where he hasn't played an NBA game yet. You don't know what he is. That's what
Right.
I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to trade for him. You don't know what you got yet. You know, he might be a
Right.
bust his first year. He might average 9 points a game. He might get injured. He might be up for the season. We don't know. And then
Right.
you make the trade for the star. Now he tight because the dude he was coming here with is up for the season. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but anything can
Right.
happen. We
Right,
don't
and the
know yet.
market isn't that good this summer, and we only have $50 million. If Johnson Clark's off the books, then Leaf, yeah, maybe we could trade for a star, but we didn't have a lot of cap space to operate
But
with this
Leaf,
summer,
I mean
as some
LM.
people thought we would. We have to be strategic about the cap space, too.
LM, hold on. Let me
but
ask
if we
LM something though. What's the difference if that happened the second year though? You don't know if he get injured. You don't know whatever that could happen the second
it
year
could
The
too.
happen
So
the
what?
second,
second year, and
the
he a year
difference
older.
is in the second year, on his first year, we would have a glimpse of what Cooper is.
Right.
So once he goes into his second year, regardless if he's injured or not, we know when he come back, he gonna be one of them ones.
Right.
That's the main difference. In the first year, we have to give a glimpse of what he is. Is he gonna be a 30-point per game scorer? Is he adjusted to the NBA league speed? Is he a
Right.
good shooter? Can he finish well?
Right.
Can he get it? Can he work in isolation? These are
Yo,
Right.
things that we got to see from Cooper first before we
yo,
even
Right.
think of
yo,
pairing him with
Leaf,
a star.
Leaf. We can't
Fact, LM.
pass that up though. Next
And the
Okay.
year,
stars got to see
top
it,
five,
LM,
top six.
too, if he
Right,
Yeah,
and
is
the
we
that
pass
stars
guy.
got
it
to
up.
see it. They got to see it
Yeah,
go. Is he a generational talent? You got to show me
right,
before I even think of going to Brooklyn.
Yeah, and
right.
at the same time though, you still got a chance, right? Even
One
if
more
you
year
get Coop.
tanking. One more year after this.
Yeah,
One more
exactly.
year after
If
this.
you still got to, because like you
Bro,
get Coop.
if we get Coop
Hold,
in
hold,
this
leave,
draft,
hold.
Yeah,
If
let
you
X-Fish
No, what?
listen.
Yo, Leaf next
if you
year. The
draft Coop,
monster
right?
Peterson. You can't
And
pass that
yeah,
up.
exactly.
You
If
can't
you
pass
got a
that up,
chance
man.
to pair him with Peterson, AJ,
Hell
Nate,
yeah.
right?
Hell yeah.
You don't need
You don't need the
free,
superstar.
free
We can
agency
just start
until
our own
like
shit.
you figure out the team, and then it's like, okay, what do I need with these two? You know what I'm saying? If you get lucky and
I
draft
agree.
another, you know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, now we could, you know what I'm saying? Let's put this
I,
team together.
I
unless you
listen,
give motherfucking Jokic.
listen.
Unless you're getting Jokic
I
now.
get what you saying, Ice, bro. But ain't nothing in this league guaranteed, bro. The thing is, when you in a market, when you in a basically somewhat of a quote unquote win now market, you gotta roll that dice, bro. Like the second of, bro. 9 times out of 10, bro. Like, listen, the thing is, the one thing that we got going for us, bro, and that's building in around the league, and that Breeze was talking about earlier this season is the rapport. All 29 other teams know who Jordy Fernandez is. Now that's number one. Number two, bruh, we got the cap space going for us. We got plenty of it. And
Only
us
50
being
mil right now.
and on top of us being in the lottery and being a bottom five team, bruh, we got a said top three pick coming up. So you do that. Me personally, bruh, I think, bruh, Cooper probably be on autopilot or under Jordy. Like, oh, come on, bro. Like, we putting him under arguably one of the best young coaches coming up in his first year in the league, just off a rapport, bro. Not off a record, because everybody was gonna go off a record, but off a
But
rapport, bro.
But
Like that,
if
just
he's
that.
setting if he's doing what he's doing in Brooklyn, him doing that is gonna speak for itself. I don't think
Right.
necessarily you're gonna need a star for that, because if
your
he's doing
next
what
year
he's
draft
supposed to
supposed to be
do
better than this year.
In Brooklyn, and if he's rookie of the year and he's hitting all these accolades, I think then next year his second season would be the NBA saying, "Yo, all right, bet, yo, get a team around him." We
Right.
seen
You
what
got to
we
make the
seen what he
case
can
first.
do now.
Right.
Get
Yo,
a team
LM.
around him. Go in free agency. Go to
I
Right.
trades. He needs to be surrounded with talent. We seen what
Right.
we got already.
I
We
feel
seen
Right.
like
it.
LM and John, y'all saying the right thing to do, but I feel like what Leaf is saying is more like what business would do. Like I was watching some shit earlier where they was talking about like how sometimes, when they do tributes for music artists that died and shit like that, that they fucking always, there's somebody that could sing Prince or Michael Jackson better than Trey Songz, but they put Trey Songz up there just because of the name, and that's gonna draw people to it. But you've seen better Michael Jackson impersonated somewhere else, but that person don't get the look because you want the names draw people. And I feel like what Leaf is saying is if you get that number one pick, the league might want him to come into the league with some help already, like some people
Nah,
surrounding him.
you're still
But
gonna
Yeah,
my
he's
but
only
still
that
gonna
thing
probably
get
is,
happens his
mad
second
I
year,
views.
though,
Still gonna get
right.
Jay.
mad
That's
views.
I'm not disagreeing with Lee. I'm just saying that it will probably be his second year, not immediately.
Right.
Wemby didn't
Right.
even get, regardless of market. You're talking about a guy that they was talking about in Paulo's rookie year when Paulo was balling. They didn't even tell them to get
True.
get him a team. Like,
Right.
regardless, yes, we have the bigger market, but the league is still looking to see, yo, what is this dude? We got to
Right.
see what this dude is. Then we can put him on ESPN.
Right.
Then we can
And I
put him
would
on
just say
NBA
this,
Today.
and I
Then we
would
can
just say
start
this,
getting the marketing around him.
Oh yeah,
right.
like
And I
Like,
would
you
Flag,
got to see
But
what
Flag
hold
and
he
on, wait,
is.
Peterson.
wait. I got one more
Flag
point
and
before I
Peterson,
got one more
the
point for y'all
same
go
team.
on. We in the fucking town with the Knicks. They want to build that rivalry.
You
Yeah,
know
can't
what's
put
exactly.
by
crazy?
Chris Paul, man.
I think
That's true.
I think Cooper, if Cooper bowl out, if Cam Thomas and Cooper next year bowl, let's say we get Cooper and they bowl out against the Knicks, I think that's headlines already.
That's
I
That
think
true.
is
that's already
that is
headlines.
headlines. That is
I,
headlines already. But on top of that, I mean, in my personal opinion, bro, I think what the league wants to do, they want to try to protect him right away, bro. This is one of the reasons why I've said what I've been saying. The thing is, I get what everything that you were saying about LM about yo, if he go crazy his first year, players is gonna want to come, was gonna want to join in and join the team, and they're gonna want to see what the cap space look like, this, that, the third, all of these things. But in my personal opinion, I think the NBA has a personal interest to protect him right out of the gate. The second that the draft is over, bro, if we get, especially if he lands here, if he lands here, the draft is over, bro. That it's gonna be pressure being put on us, bro, to go put pieces around him immediately.
Yeah,
I really don't think the NBA really gives a damn about us giving him a year, giving him that
Nah,
said year
Lee.
to see if he
wait,
averages
They,
wait,
I
25 and
think they
5.
Lee,
do.
Lee,
I
can I
think
just
they
yo,
say
yo,
this,
do.
Lee?
Leaf, is that what you
Hold on.
want, though, Leaf?
Let me
Wait,
answer
I'm not
that. Hold
getting
on,
it
hold on. Let me
because
answer that.
I
because
Lee.
I
think
know
they
you want the
do.
nigga
I
on your
agree.
draft.
I
You don't
agree
want
with
the
him. I
draft
just don't
picks.
think it's going to be his first year.
LM, right? LM, Leaf. Let me answer that. And again, this is all if he comes here. But if we just staying with that conversation, the reason why I'm saying that you got to be careful on who you surround him with is because you don't want to dim his light. You don't want to.
Oh yeah, you want Megatron.
That's true.
Yo,
Because
Breezy
give
went
him a raw
Megatron.
team.
we
You gotta
don't
get
want quick
you
fixes.
hold on. Before you build around him in the off season or whatever, like you gotta give him a raw team for him to build with this, see what he's comfortable with, more so opposed to a veteran free agent who's accustomed to what they like. We need to get into what the draft pick likes. And
It, it, it's not.
On top of that,
then
that star is coming
26,
into
but
a
not
rebuilding team at that. So it was like
I'm
I don't think we're gonna have enough that star, whoever we get, is probably gonna want to go into a team where he can contend for a championship.
Right,
I'm
right.
Now I don't
listen,
think that's
hey,
gonna be
listen.
in
I'm cool.
Brooklyn.
I'm cool with everything that y'all saying, bro. But I think of this situation, bro, and it's not exactly the same. And I don't want anybody to react to the way that I say this. Think about 1996, bro, when the Lakers got Kobe, and 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after that, 2 weeks before that, they signed Shaq to a 7 year, 6 year, 150 something $1 million deal. Think of it that way, bro. Because the thing is, obviously, the only person that believed in Kobe, bro, like at during that time, was the late great Jerry West. He already knew. He said, "Yo, y'all gonna win championships together, this, that, and third." And he was right. And it probably only took maybe 4 years to
right.
do it. And not just think of it
Listen.
that way, bro. I'm
Right?
telling you.
No. I feel what you're saying, but we don't have Shaq. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Facts.
And he's not the
So,
market this year either. Shaq's not
If
the
you
market
get
either
right,
this year.
Flag and then you
can,
get
can
Peterson
I
or the Bonster next
can I
year,
say
then
something
you
about
and
good.
that?
that's
That
no,
Jack?
hold on. That's a big maybe. And again, my thing is with the whole thing about them having a raw team pause where they just you know what I'm saying, see what they could do, see what they like and dislike, see what they want. Like the same way AD
Yep.
was requesting a center and they went out and got DeMarcus Cousins. Still didn't work, but they still went out and got DeMarcus Cousins. Like,
Right,
see if he said, nah, I want to play the small forward on this team, or I want to play the power forward on this team. See what he
right.
likes first. I think that's the thing that I'm just trying to get
Y'all
across to you
scoffing
guys.
at Leaf, and I hear y'all, but It ain't no Shaq in the draft. It ain't no Shaq in free agency or in the league right
Right.
now. But they might
No,
get.
Jay, we not
They might get.
disagreeing. We just
They
Hey,
might.
saying that
but
it's not gonna be no
Yo,
wait,
first
but I
season.
don't think Leaf is saying what he want. He's saying what they might do, and y'all
Yeah, I
saying
don't.
what should
right,
happen, but he's saying what they might
I don't
do,
think they're
and they
gonna do
might
but
that
try to
Jay,
pair.
either.
No, no, no.
wait,
I
I
but
don't
don't
think
Jay,
they're
think
if
gonna
it
so.
do
If
that
doesn't
they
make
try,
either.
sense,
look,
wait, can I just
look,
say this
it
one
ain't
thing?
Shaq, but they could get Giannis or fucking Zion. They might
Uh,
think that's like
hold on.
But
Shaq
wait,
and
can I
Kobe.
just
That's a
say this? Can I just say this, Jay? My thing is this, though. We don't want quick fixes either for the wrong reasons. If we go after the
Oh
stars, because you feel like
boy,
we're gonna,
I
because it
heard
feels like
you.
we're
I
gonna
don't.
contend for
We not
something.
talking about what you want. We talking about what they might do. That's
yeah,
what Leaf is talking
That's
about.
that's why. That's all
and
I've been
Yeah.
talking about. I
No, no,
think
right.
that's what
but
they
listen,
might end
I'll
up
be
doing.
honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Lee. There's a part of me that does want to do something crazy or something. Because if you do land high in the top three, you might want to enhance this a little bit, but it has to make sense. You look at a guy like a Giannis. I know some of you guys don't want him. We would have to give up pretty much the whole house to get a guy like him.
All right.
Zion, you could get him on the cheap, but does he fit with Cooper? And will he be healthy on this team? Like, there are a lot of red flags with the stars that I've heard about that could be available for us. Is it worth it to get those red flags in a guy's rookie year? To LM's point, probably not. Maybe waiting another year is not a bad thing because we'll still have flexibility and we'll have more options at our disposal. I'm open to it this summer if it makes sense, but I don't want a quick fix, is what
Oh,
I'm saying
okay.
So
either.
Okay.
then you
Okay.
We
always
don't
the
want
one
that
Listen.
either.
screaming. You always the one screaming trade Claxton and trade CJ. What you want to
For
trade them
cap space
for?
flexibility.
Peanuts?
Wait. I said that for cap space flexibility, or maybe to
Why
get a
why are we
Zion
why are we trading
reluctantly.
them for
But
nothing?
other than
We
that,
could
you want
trade them.
cap space flexibility.
Why are we trading them
Oh,
for nothing? We could trade them for a star that we could pair along with the young
What
What
trajectory.
star
star
do
is
you
this
want, Lee? Tell me the star
hypothetically?
that you
hold
want
on.
right now.
Let me get in this
Atacumpo.
conversation real quick.
What
Right?
star is this hypothetically?
Who said
Hold on.
Atacumpo.
Antetokounmpo like that?
Nah,
Who was
nah,
That's
that?
how you
because
gotta say
nah,
I ain't going
Atacumpo.
after Giannis
Yo,
with that calf
Peoples is
injury.
mad funny,
I'm not
bro.
going after Giannis. No, I'm
Peoples is
talking about
hilarious.
Yo,
I ain't
yo,
going after
yo, yo,
LaMelo.
imagine
I
us
ain't
bro.
going
hollering at
after
his name
none of
down the
these
street,
niggas.
hollering at his last name and shit. Atacumpo.
Yo, this nigga
That shit's
Peoples
tough.
is
That
hilarious,
nigga
That
bro.
Peepers
shit's
is
tough.
wild. Nah,
yeah.
listen, bro.
I
Look,
heard that shit out of nowhere. I just said Antetokounmpo.
And then you be like, yo, you be like, yo, fuck it. What up, G?
I'll
You be
put
like,
it
what
to
up,
you
G?
this way, bro. Like anybody in their 20s right now, we done already mentioned their name. We already talked about LaMelo. We already talked about Trey Young. We already talked about Zion, bro. And it's
No
set
Lamelo, please.
in
No
the in
If
the
we
in
Lamelo.
get
the, in the
Cooper, if we get Cooper
if we
instead
get
of
Cooper and
wait, hold on,
Zion,
listen,
I'm
listen.
cool.
No, I wasn't even gonna say Cooper, Zion. If we get Cooper and then we get LaMelo instead of Dylan and fucking got Cam Thomas, LaMelo, and Cooper, I think that's fire.
No, what about
No, no, I don't want
2026
LaMelo here with
lottery, man?
them injury issues. I
That's
ain't gonna
ticket
hold you.
sales. But hold on.
Bruh,
That nigga ankles is glass.
if we get Cooper and Zion to start a new season, bro, and we getting TV games on top of that, bro, like I'm cool.
But yo, we're still
And
gonna get TV games if we
We're
get
already
Cooper.
gonna get
Still
TV
gonna
games
get
if we
TV
get
games.
Cooper.
Yo, let him.
That's a
Yo,
known given.
just get
no,
Cooper,
no,
win
true.
like
I
20
was just no,
games,
no, no. I already
win
knew
like
that.
20 games, and then draft in
I
the
was just
lottery,
adding that.
and
I was
then
just adding that for sauce, bro.
stack
Like
up,
I
stack
was
up.
just adding that for sauce, bro. If we listen at any event, bro, that Clax and Cam Johnson is going, and
Yo, I can't.
and we end up with Coop, Zion, and we can still pay Cam Thomas. Everybody gets what they want. Everybody gets what they want. Niggas in the party get to keep Cam Thomas, bro, and get to pay him the money. And we got Coop basically out on a rookie deal, and then we got Zion to pair alongside of that. It works. Y'all
I'm gonna
telling me
I
that
I
it
don't
don't
know
works?
if
know,
it
but I don't
works,
know
Leaf.
about
It's
that.
interesting,
I'm gonna
but we
say
don't know
this.
if it's going to
I'm
work.
gonna say this, man.
Hold on, hold
I'm
I
on.
gonna
like
Quick,
say this.
Lamelo better,
quick,
Hold
quick,
on.
quick.
only
LaMelo has to get his
because
twiggles in shape. His
Both
twiggles.
of them
Something
niggas
with
got
his
injury
twig.
issues,
yo,
man.
all I know is
Hold
Lamelo will average.
Time out. Hold on. I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna actually pull up both of the statistics, contracts, and all that for LaMelo Ball and Zion Williamson, and actually see what is more feasible for the Brooklyn Nets. Because I'm telling you, the reason why I do what I do is because obviously I can't predict what the Brooklyn Nets is going to do. But if they do tap into the podcast, they could see that we know basketball and we may be able to help some type of way. I will hope the fans is helping the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? I will hope so. But
Zion
so
contract is cheaper.
before you
Zion is like
do
making
that,
like
Breeze,
Way
36 million.
cheaper.
let me
go
say something.
ahead. Before I do
Um,
that, what?
the NBA is not going to protect flag, right? When you mentioned Shaq, that was what the owner or whoever wanted to do. The same way,
Jerry
like,
West.
all right, the same way that well they put it on Joe Tsai. If Coop comes here, Joe Tsai has to want to do that. like Shaq wanted to play alongside Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Most of the stars, like
Shaq didn't know nothing about Kobe. He even said it himself. He went back to the nut, bro. Once Jerry West, he went to Jerry West's office, bro. He seen the number that he want, and he was sold. He was just like, I bet. And then then Jerry West on the way out the door when Shaq was signing the contract, and Shaq said it himself. These is his words. He was like, "Yo," he was talking about this kid named Kobe Bryant. I said, "I ain't care. I just sold the numbers, bro, and I signed my paper, bro." I was like, "All right, yeah, whatever. Yeah, all right, whatever. We gonna team up. Whoever you just said, bro. All
he
right,
said,
yo, good luck, Jerry West. Thanks for the
he
150."
said every person that he like, he might not have known about Kobe, but D Wade, you know what I'm saying? He said, I seen the same thing in D Wade as I seen in Penny, and that's why I wanted to play alongside with him. So what I'm saying is the stars be choosing who they want to play alongside with for the most part. If somebody sees Cooper, like one of them dudes from the USA team, seen Cooper play, and then now he's in Brooklyn, then well maybe one of them might be like, all right, like Cooper over there, you know what I'm saying? I see him hoop. Let me go over there. The NBA is not protecting him from anything like Ellen said. You got to see what he is. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what he is, you can't pair nobody with him just off the rip because he's in Brooklyn. That don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? You could do all that and he'd be a
It
bust, and I just came
it
over here
make
for nothing.
dollars though. It
You know what I
it
mean?
make dollars.
Again, don't make dollars when he failed. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, bro, it was stupid as hell when they bought that fake ass KG Paul Pierce Big Three over here. But they wanted people to come to games. They wanted
After
names.
what?
It's a
They brought him
different
here
Exactly.
after
timing.
what,
It's a
Jay?
different timing era.
Yeah,
Right.
but let's
It's a
not act
different
like
timing era.
let's not act like,
Alright,
bro.
y'all think so.
Let's not act
Just the
like this front office is.
and I'm not saying I want this, but I just keep thinking the way Leaf is talking, it sounds like money, and people like to make money.
They
But we
already
want to
making money.
win.
We
But
the
we want
fourth
to win
valuable
too.
franchise
We
in the
don't say just a
league.
top.
No,
That's why
no,
they
Correct.
no,
feel
no.
like they
But
would have to get a star because of what you're saying.
But
exactly.
I don't think
but
it. You
Jay,
already got to start in supposedly in Cooper.
Right.
That's
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 what.
that's the
Exactly.
draw.
Listen,
I hear
hold
what
Cooper's
on,
you
is the
listen,
I hear
draw.
what you're
listen,
saying, but
hold
I
on,
don't
Jay,
think
hold on, Jay.
what
Let me
up.
say
We
this.
only talking hypotheticals.
Jay,
That's
right,
all.
right. Listen, in the hypothetical, remember that the free agents burn Sean Marks. And he got a reputation around the league when it comes down to free agents. What's the
It's
what's
not
the
free
what's
agency
the
that we digging into, bro. It's the thing is that we going at like when you get in the event that we get Coop. I personally believe that this front office will be put pressure on him to pair a star alongside of him right away. Right, 2 weeks after the draft, it's gonna
No
be
way.
free agent. It's gonna
No,
be a
no
time to
way.
make trades, bro. We could make them
but what
trades,
about my
but
debate to you?
for a
What about
Trey
my
Young.
debate? What about my debate to what you said
What
about
what what was what was the debate?
seeing more of him and his raw game, pause, seeing what he can do, not do, and then getting someone to compliment him. But how could we compliment him before he even plays a game with us? We just gonna
Because you
pay him with a
scouted him.
superstar
No,
right
no, no,
away.
no, no. Here's
Because you
here's the thing.
scouted
That's what
him.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing, bro. Because of Jordy Fernandez coaching ability, I don't think we're finding somebody to compliment him. I think that we're finding him to compliment whoever's on the team. Like think of him like a Swiss Army knife that Zaire is, but he's basically going to be a star quality of starter minutes with better talent and better ability and younger.
Listen. All right, so let's have this conversation, Lee, because again, I agree with having the thing with the team committee, winning that as a committee. I agree with that, but you need an alpha dog too.
Yeah.
And if we're not drafting that alpha, I look at Ace Bailey. I look at Dylan Harper as an alpha dog. I look like Ace Bailey as reading the scout report. The scout report say he's a second shot creator, so I'm just going off of that. And Cooper, I think he will eventually become an alpha dog, but I got Dylan Harper being the alpha dog as soon as he come into the NBA. How y'all feel about that? And I'm
I
saying
know,
that,
Breezy. I
and
think
I'm
I think
saying,
he's a
and I'm
dog
asking
though.
Leaf.
I
Hold
think
on, I'm
Cooper's a
asking Leaf.
dog
Do
though.
you think that you don't think we need an alpha dog on the court? I do. I do think I do. As a
I
I
player,
think we
listen.
need a
Look,
core.
no, no.
I think we need a core
Here's the
so we can
thing.
make big
I think,
deals.
I think, I think on any given night, bro, like we need favorable matchups, and I think the way that Jordy is coaching, bro. If you look at the games that we won, we get a good game out of CJ. We get a good game out of Zaire. We get a deep, bro. Day'Ron Sharp had the best game as a net this year. 25, 15, 5, 3 and 3. He had the best game as a net this year. That tells you, bro, that the head coach at the helm, bro, can get anybody to be a dog on any given night.
Damn,
Think of it.
I just wish he was like 7 feet
Us.
tall, man.
Think of us like
Wish he was
bro.
7 feet
The
tall.
the final. Hold up. I'm gonna say this. The final edition of this team, bro. If Jordy is still a head coach, and I mean the final edition, I'm talking about the parade next week, bro. On Atlantic Avenue is gonna be the '04 Pistons or the 2014 Spurs. I'm telling you, they're not bringing Coop here. They're bringing Coop here for the lead to protect them, but we're not building around him. We're building pieces to make sure he's part of a quality team. That's what it is, because he's that much of a Swiss Army knife, and you could get him to fill any type of role on any given night. One night he might be a lockdown defender. One night he might be hitting a couple of threes, and then the other night he might be a good rebounder or a good facilitator. He don't have to be the guy every night, bro. Like you thinking that the guys are gonna be every night, bro. Like we're like Jordy
I'm not saying
Fernandez.
that. I'm not
I
Jordy
saying
disagree.
that.
Fernandez.
I
When
Jordy
you say
disagree.
every
Fernandez
night
is.
guy though, when you
I'm
say
Hold on,
not
every
wait.
saying
night
that.
I
guy,
I'm
heavily
gonna say
disagree.
this.
Leaf.
Jordy Fernandez is here. His championship team is gonna look a lot like the 2014 Spurs or the 2004 Pistons. This any nigga on any given night, bro, that could kill you and have a matchup problem.
yeah,
That's
when
what
you
it's
when
Wait,
gonna
you
look
have a
like.
real
Leaf,
talent,
Leaf.
right?
It
Yeah.
started.
Can I just say this, Leaf? You're saying
Hold
all
on,
the
hold
right.
on.
Wait. Can I say this to Leaf? Leaf, you're saying all the right things we all want to hear and believe, but it's like, what is this core going to look? We don't have a main core right now. We have a great coaching staff, and good as Cooper is on the defensive side, he's still one piece at the end
John,
of
how
the
many
day.
players in the core? How many players in the core, John?
So, all right, so well, these are players that could be part of the core, but they're not definitive yet. Thomas,
No.
Clowney,
But that's
Zaire.
it
Well,
just to you.
we answered
How
it. It's
many
mostly
The,
players?
three or four.
But
the
Right, but
Let
but
maximum
I'm
him
not
number is
saying
answer.
four.
guaranteed
but
though.
The
Leaf,
maximum number is
my
four.
question,
Let him
my
answer.
question, Leaf, are we?
Let him answer the question. He the
But
one that said
Leaf,
we ain't got a core. I want to know what do you
no,
think?
no, no. These guys that could be Thomas, Clowney, Zaire. But believe my thing is this: are we doing this to actually win and beat a team like Boston can see? Are we doing this for pomp and circumstance? What's doing this for pomp and circumstance is the same shit we've been doing the last 8 years, which is not do much of anything. Like I want us to actually build a
Stop
team
it.
that will win in the end. Like it
Stop
feels
We
it.
like we're
we
doing
we,
this.
we
Stop
are
it. No,
doing
no,
it.
no,
We
no.
are
Stop
doing
it.
this to
Stop
build
it.
a
No,
team. We
hell
are.
no. You're not. I'm not. Jody Fernandez is not doing the same thing Jock Vaughn or Steve Nash is doing.
No, no, I'm referring to
That's
the
not the same
management because
thing.
here's the thing we got to realize, guys. This is Sean
This is
Marks and Joe Tsai at the helm. When have they actually built sustainability that they've been
Yeah.
preaching since they took over the previous regime? Have they
bro. Jordy
executed that
Fernandez,
yet?
bro.
No, there's
Well,
no sustainability right now. We're still trying to figure
yo,
out what our team is.
Listen,
we forgetting the most
let me answer your
important
question.
part.
I look at teams based on who's the coach. This is three different coaches, bro. This coach you don't represent, bro. Steve Nash and Jock Vaughn don't represent what Kenny Atkinson was doing. Do you think are you looking at regimes? If you're going to look at it that way, this is a whole new regime.
Oh,
For like a
No,
system.
better
it's
word.
not. It's the same reason. Wait,
Yes, it
Breeze. Okay, this is where I
is,
gotta
bro.
stop you, Breeze. I
Jordy
understand
Fernandez
Joy's doing a
changed
great job, but he's not the
everything.
commander. He's not
Jordy
the
Fernandez
boss or the
changed
CEO.
everything.
The
Bro,
previous regime is still in charge.
listen, you can't tell me that Jody Fernandez don't have a say just because Sean Marks is the GM. That's just not
How
true.
many? Wait,
I
Breeze.
don't
I have
know
a question. How many coaches have
what kind
power in the NBA
bro.
over the
No,
owners? I
John.
want a list. How many
John?
coaches have power over the
John?
owners? Because you
John?
make it seem like
What
Jordy
kind,
has all
John?
this power.
John, what kind of relationship you think Jody Fernandez and Sean Marks got?
And
Realistically,
not a good relationship because Sean Marks lied to Jordy when he brought him here.
I
If you want to
disagree.
keep it honest, because
That's
Jordy, when
not
Jordy was
true.
brought here,
I
we
It
don't
was a
still
think
had
lie.
I don't
Bridges,
think he
right?
lied to
It
him.
was a lie.
That's not
The,
true.
the
I
lie
don't think he.
was, but guys,
Let him
based
finish.
off how the season's gone, it feels like Sean Marks
No,
was 100% honest about this
Nah.
team's
Joe,
direction. You see,
they
none of
had
this team's direction was.
they had a press conference where they talked
Time out. Put opinion. Say that is my opinion. Don't put it out on my page that Sean Marks is lying. Say what your opinion is about Sean Marks, but don't
Okay,
say
okay. You want my opinion? Okay, you want my opinion?
Listen. Again, and you and whoever other fans that I debate on this, I still disagree with y'all. When it come down to Jordy Fernandez, they told him, yo, we're gonna see what you're gonna do. The same thing how Jordy Fernandez is giving all of these different players green lights to shoot the three and create and all of this and that. That's the same green light that Sean Marks gave to Jordy Fernandez. And Sean Marks seen fast that if this guy has any kind of talent, he's going to win games. And I'm not going to say that Sean Marks couldn't have done more. I'm not here to defend that. But I am saying that Jordy Fernandez has a relationship with Sean Marks, and it's not a bad one. As a
I
matter of
wish
Yeah.
Jordy could take a
I see
vacation
him
and
listen,
more
watch
as
16
listen.
games.
Sean Marks,
He showed us
Sean Marks.
everything.
The difference between Sean Marks, between Jack Vaughn and Steve Nash, is the yes man factor. Jordy Fernandez is not a yes man. Jack Vaughn and Steve Nash were yes men. Now, let's establish that. Now that you understand that Jordy Fernandez is not a yes man, and that Jack Vaughn and Steve Nash were, then you understand that there's why you have the team buying into what Jordy Fernandez is saying. Not just a coach, he's a man. He's asking X, Y, and Z out of these players, and if they want to do have different opportunities for their basketball game, then they have to do what Jordy Fernandez is asking of them, effort wise and etc. Like they're not getting these opportunities unless they show their game on the defensive side of the ball. I disagree with John. Jordy Fernandez has changed the culture of this team. It's
He's a
not the
tough
same
Spaniard,
feeling
bro.
vibe.
He's
It's
got
that
a
He's a tough
program put in,
Spaniard.
Breeze, but at the end of the day, we still need the pieces. And as good as Jordy has been on the coaching factor, he's not the boss. He's
But
not the CEO
what I'm
at the end
saying
of the
is
day.
what I'm saying is you keep saying the pieces, and I'm trying to get to the nitty gritty of it. We're gonna have a 10 mil rotation. That's the my champagne campaign. I keep saying that. You even hear Leaf saying that. Multiple fans are saying that. So when you say we don't have the pieces, immediately we're going to talk about Zaire Williams. We're going to talk about Cam Thomas and Noah Clowney. But the ones that have potential that we debate on, probably a Max Lewis because he's got motion.
He
And
got the motor, though. He got the
I don't
motor.
even
Trent,
know if
Trent
Lewis has a future on his team, but I'll give him his credit what he's doing right now. I'll give him props.
But Keon Johnson, Jalen Wilson, all debatable. Keon Johnson, Jalen Wilson, Trendon Watford, all debatable. Max Lewis, debatable. So I'm saying that's 7 players that I just mentioned. Claxton, that's 5. And CJ Cam Johnson, that's 6. That's 9 players. 6 out of 9 players are debatable from what I'm hearing, right? And I'm missing one player. D'Angelo Russell, 10.
Oh,
That's the
hell
10-man
no.
rotation.
Breezy.
And Tyrese Martin, that's 11. That's an 11-man rotation. So what I'm saying is those are what 8 out of 11 are debatable about whether or not they're going to stay on this team. So when you say we don't have the pieces, correct. But we got 3 or 4 pieces going into next season, and he running a 10, more of a 10-man rotation. I don't want to say 11, more of a 10-man rotation. So I don't know how many players y'all think we're gonna get out of college this season, man.
We
Like
got
I
5
think we're
people
gonna
coming
get
in.
I think
5
we're gonna
people.
get 2 solid players that's gonna be in the rotation. So I
No, no
do
way.
think to Leaf and Jay's point, yeah, we are gonna have to go into free agency to the extent, but more of our rotation, one starters in 6, 7, 8 man.
Well, Leaf ain't say
There's
free
gonna
agency. He
be
was
there's
talking
gonna
about
be
a
from
trade.
the draft
That's what
and
he
what we
said.
got.
And what do we have to trade besides Thomas and some picks? Like we don't have a whole lot of assets to give away for stars right now.
No, we're not trading Thomas. Like
Johnson and
No. I'm
Claxton,
just saying
Max.
Clangston,
don't
baby.
just do
hypothetically,
that. Don't
Clangston.
he's
just
one of
say
our
First to
that.
valuable
go.
Don't just say
First
that.
to
assets.
go, baby.
Don't just say that. Say
Bro,
something else.
bro, you
Because
can't
because
tell
I'm
me. You
thinking
can't
if
tell me.
But Breeze, I'm
Clax,
saying to his point because Leaf doesn't realize that Leaf thinks we have all these assets to give away for stars right now when we kind of don't. We shouldn't do what the NBA says. Oh, throw away what you have to protect a rookie prospect and hope he becomes a superstar in 1 year.
no,
the
I
no,
only
think
no.
that'd
the,
be a good strategy for us.
Hold up. Let me make something clear. The
Yeah, how
cheapest
did that
star that we
get-
could get, bro, for the least amount of assets is Zion. That's the cheapest star,
And do you
bro. Like,
trust Zion fully though, Leaf, to mesh with Cooper and remain healthy
I
for a
mean,
whole year?
bro,
Like not just mental and physical, but food healthy. Will he be
bro,
food healthy a whole year? I gotta see it. Like I'm
food
not
health.
just gonna say he's
Listen,
gonna lead us to a promised land because we
He
get him.
look.
you gotta get on that diet, man.
All I'm gonna say is this, bro. Listen. At the end of the day, I think it's up to listen. We all believe in Jordy Fernandez to turn water into wine with some of these players, bro. My thing is when he gets better talent, bro. Just imagine, bro, like what could happen with a legitimate starting 5. I'm not talking about niggas that was in the G League in the past. I'm not talking about niggas that was on 2-way contract in the past. I'm talking about real starting talent, bro. Real legitimate starting talent. Players that was once top 5 picks, a top 10 pick. We got a top 10 pick on our team in the name of Zaire Williams, and he is exceeded everything that all of these other 2-way players that we put on the team is doing. He's exceeded that. If you telling me, bro, that if somehow some way we pair Cooper, Zion, and Cam Thomas together, and Zion got a low ball contract, and we can still save money and still add vets, add small little vet pieces. We don't really need to add stars. We can add small little collateral pieces to a coach that knows how to put it all together and doesn't have any egos on the roster. You can't tell me that ain't winning.
Well, yeah, for Claxton
Winning
and
for what?
Cam
If you got, if
Johnson,
they're trying
yeah,
to
I'm
tank next,
down
if
for
they
Zion.
think, I think they're
Yeah,
gonna
we
try to
forget
do the
about
I
the
same
don't
thing
even
second
with
know.
Lottery.
lottery.
I'm
What do we
not
do with that
100%
lottery?
sure.
Nobody's talking about
I'm
that
not
yet.
100% sure if they
And I
if
don't think Zion
I'm
is on
For
their mind right now. Me
I don't know.
personally, I
For
don't think
Claxton and Johnson, Leaf.
I
I'm
don't
not
think
a
it's
hundred.
Johnson.
Zion
I'm
on
not
their mind.
100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if they are tanking
I
for
think
next
Zion
year.
would
But
get traded, but I don't think he'll be here.
Zi-
I don't think the Nets will get him. If he
I
gets
think
traded, he
they
might go
want
somewhere else.
Giannis. I think they
I,
want
I,
Giannis, man. I think that's
listen,
what the Nets want.
nah.
That,
Giannis is too big of a risk.
you think so?
I think
Nah, but
Zion,
Leaf, to Ellen's
Zion.
point, to Ellen's point, the guy we have been connected in from sources has been Giannis. I haven't seen a source that says
Yeah, I
Brooklyn
don't.
is seeing Zion as that big
Yo,
prize.
Leaf. I
That's
think the
what I haven't
Nets
heard from
only
yet.
want
I don't know if Zion.
Giannis
What
or Jokic, but Jokic, nobody.
Man, all of these
Nobody
the
wants.
problem is
Never
all of
wants.
these dudes that we're talking about have injury issues, right?
And
At
baggage,
least
and
what we
baggage, Ellen.
as
Right.
much as
but
the thing
Zion
is we
comes on the
cool,
Let him finish.
cheapest,
Let him
bro.
finish. Let him finish. Let
but
him
you
finish. Go
still
ahead, Alan.
they all have injury issues. One and two, we the main point that we're trying to I want to see is a team that is healthy. First
Right.
of all, with Cooper Flag coming into the league, which we don't know, we don't know what the kid is going to be yet. As far as him coming, if he does get drafted here, in terms of the number ones that has came before him, I don't think necessarily it's going to be a matter of this kumbaya win for all. In terms of the number ones, we've seen, and I guess Cade is now showing it now too. These number ones is coming in. We seen it with Ant. Yo, this runs through me. Everybody else is secondary.
Listen,
This
listen.
runs
Hold
through
on,
I
hold on,
mean,
me.
hold on.
but
MM.
So
look
Hold
at
on,
the but
Leaf,
look at
Leaf,
the
Leaf,
teams
Leaf,
that
Leaf,
they on
Leaf,
though.
Leaf, Leaf. I gotta
right,
show
but
you. Hold on. Because
oh, go ahead,
remember,
Everything.
hold on. Because remember, I kept referring to the book. So now y'all can see this with your own eyes. I told y'all that about the team that the ABA championship roster and all of the different players that was in double digits for them to win the NBA championship. But Dr. J was the alpha dog, averaging 29.3 points. You can see that up top. But to my point, there's one. But you got to count Dr. J. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 players in double digits and 2 players averaging 8, just shy of 9 points. You could say almost double digits, like I was saying. I might have stretched it a little bit, but you get what I was saying, right?
Yeah,
So
I
that's
get what
again
you're saying,
one,
bro.
two, three, 4, 5, 6 players in double digits. So again, I do agree with that, but championship roster shows they had an alpha dog. They had a guy that, all right, we're gonna go to this guy. So just for the record, right?
Mm.
Brian Teller,
I,
he was
I,
the point. Hold on. Brian Teller, he was the point guard, right? He averaged 13 shots a game, right? John Williamson, I think they call him Super John. He was the shooting guard. Power forward, I'm not really familiar with Rich Jones and Kim Hughes. I haven't heard much about him. But I mentioned those guys to say, first off, I met Brian Teller, and he told me he was a big part of the winning. And he averaged 16 and shy of 4 assists. That's hooping, especially back then. He was hooping. Now my point is, this is the structure. We always talk about the structure of what the championship team want to look like. So I pulled up the structure of the ABA championship to see what it'll look like, to see if we could get it close to that as possible. Right.
It,
So now you can see that this coach ran a fair to say everybody played. Everybody played. But let's look at the minutes real quick. When you look at the minutes, all of these players, in my opinion, had
Well, 12 of these players had significant minutes. 12 out of 14. It looked like he ran a 14-man rotation. Again, I kind of stretched it. I said a 10-man, but it's more like he ran a 14-man. But the ones that had significant minutes or double digits minutes was 12 out of 14. The most with Julius Erving with 38 minutes, close to 39 minutes. And the least with Jim Eakins with 13 and a half minutes per se, more so. And I said that to say that's a 12-man roster. Now with the modern NBA, I don't think that we're gonna run a 12-man roster to keep it all the way 100 with you. But I do think that we run a 10-man roster. You know what I'm saying?
10-man
And
roster.
and just again, man, I'm gonna probably pull this up until we win a championship. Hopefully, it helps. You know what I'm saying?
The thing up
It's
there,
the
see,
structure of an actual Nets championship team.
it's two things. I want to hit on with this roster. First off, bro, ain't no Dr. J's in this draft or in free agency. That's number one. Like
Hold on,
29, 11, and 5.
let me give context to that. Dr. J out of college was averaging 20 and 20. He was averaging 20 points and 20 rebounds. Of course, there's nobody doing that in this draft, Leaf. No, nobody's doing that. When he
No,
comes up, that's
No,
that's
but
what
that's not the
that's what
point
Dr.
though,
When he
Breezy.
got drafted, to go to the pros, he was averaging 20 and 20. But go ahead.
Breeze. The thing is, the reason why I keep bringing up the '04 Pistons and the 2014 Spurs is because, bro, the way that our team is coached and the way that we win most of our games. Just look at the wins. Don't pay attention to the losses. Just look at the wins. The way that we win games, bro. That's sort of where I see the direction of our team going. Those teams are championship teams. The '04 Pistons and the 2014 Spurs. There wasn't any lead head honchos on them teams. The 2014 Spurs had three niggas over the age of 30, 34. And Kawhi Leonard, who was not an all-star yet, not a defensive player of the year yet, was at one finals MVP averaging 19 points a game. He wasn't even averaging that during the season. What I'm telling you is that we're more closer to those two championship teams than we are to the one that we got on the screen.
I think the
I
We
don't
problem
think we
is,
got to build a core
I
person and
think the
identity
issue,
before we start saying
I,
we're a championship
I think
team.
the,
I
I
don't
think
think we
the
are right
issue,
now.
no, I don't think it's
We got to
that,
build
Joe.
up
I
to
think
that.
the issue is with me that that's one route that we're going to take, and I disagree. I don't think that has to be the route. If you looked at the past teams over the past years, you're talking about 2004 and 2014. The league has evolved to a point where the past teams that we have seen win championships, they have a guy, the numero uno. Yo, we run through him. Everybody else fall back. And if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do gotta
yeah.
help,
LM.
you do that. We've seen that in the past years. Now, I'm not saying necessarily that I think I agree a little bit to the point where yeah, we're gonna have to win by community. I definitely agree with that. But
Right.
I think with that is even if we have to win by community, we still have a guy. We still have the guy. Yeah, we all contribute, but at the end of the day, we have the guy to go to. Yo, lead us home. I think
LM.
that's the thing that we have to forget.
LM, and I'm gonna put this on everybody's mind. What if I told you that the 2015 Warriors and the 2024 and the Boston Celtics team that just won a championship did the same thing, that 2014 Spurs and the 2004 Pistons did by committee? What if I told you that? What what if I
They
told
still
you that?
Jalen
What if I
Brown was
told you
still
that there's more teams that won by committee and that didn't have a said guy when they won it, bro? They got a face. Don't get me wrong, bro. The Warriors got a face. The Celtics got a face. But in terms of a head honcho, bro, you as a Spurs fan, you should know the 2014 Spurs didn't have that. You should know
I
that.
get it, but when you point to the 2022 Golden State Championship, Steph was
No, no, no. I'm
unbelievable.
not talking about 2022. I'm talking about the 2015 Warriors. They did that shit by committee. The last year's Boston team, they did that shit by committee. Whether anybody want to admit it or not, bro. The Finals MVP wasn't the face of the team. That's
Right,
the
yeah,
reality.
right. I agree, but they still had Steph. Steph, regardless if Steph wasn't Steph was making a name for you. We all know how big Steph was during 2015. His name was dang near rising, bro. Everybody was doing that Curry nonsense in
Yeah, but
2015.
but but
It was by
it was
committee, but he was still their guy.
it was 2016 when they took off. There's a reason why Iggy won Finals MVP and he didn't. They did that shit by committee.
He still
That's what I'm
balled
trying
out.
to
He still
tell
balled
you.
out, Lee. Like
Yeah, no, no,
his
no.
numbers
He's
in
still
that,
yeah
he still
he
balled
still
out.
balled out. Yes, he still balled out because the average. If you look at the averages, bro, like yeah, of course he still go balled out. But if you look at game to game, throughout that playoff run, bro, especially in the finals, bro, they did that shit by committee. They won by committee.
And a lot of
Trust
people
me.
didn't agree with that finals MVP. LeBron had like 30 that entire series, bro. And even Iguodala said, like,
Yeah,
I don't know how I didn't call him on that.
but we could all admit, bro, Iggy changed the series.
Yeah,
They
because
was
I'm about to say
down 2-1.
who else would have guarded Braun on that team?
Right.
Exactly. And regardless if they won by committee, you still needed Steph to do what he do.
Yeah,
That's the main thing. You needed Steph to do what if Steph is not on that team, they don't do that. You need the
yeah,
guy to connect everything together. Yo, we doing this by committee, but we
listen,
still need
listen.
Steph for that.
Listen.
That's
Look,
why we need more core pieces.
everything that you saying, bro, is partially true. But what I'm trying to tell you, bro, is that the 2014 Spurs is not that far removed from the 2015 Warriors. They both championship teams. One had Steph, was a legitimate face of the team, and on his way to becoming what he became in 2016 and 2022. The other team had veterans in a in a mid 30s, bro, and had a young Kawhi Leonard who did not peak at the star quality that he became in 2019. Well, I'm just telling you about. Just focused on the year. Don't focus on the players. Just focus on the year. Focus on
The
what they.
year is fine, but I'll only give you leeway with that with San Antonio because Kawhi was uprising. Realistically, with Golden State, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think they won by committee. I agree, but you still had an uprising Steph who in the next year really put his name on the map and was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's I'm here now.
Hey, listen. You're not saying nothing different from what I believe that that we could possibly build. Yes. How we know that can't be Cooper or the person that we get out of this draft?
So you saying we if Cooper could be him, but necessarily it don't always got to run through him. It could just be the committee of a team when we win the
Basically, because
championship
that's
where
how
he can
Jordy
be.
coach.
But we got to get the pieces though, Leaf, and that's why this summer there's a lot. There's not a lot to work with this summer. We got to
That's
set
why it's a
ourselves up for
hypothetical
everything
Matter of fact, I
conversation.
go
can
down
see
the
that. I
line.
can see
That's
that. I
why
can
it's a
see what you're saying.
hypothetical
I can
conversation,
see what
bro.
you're saying.
That's
No,
why
I
no,
can
it's a
I
see what you're
agree,
hypothetical
Leaf,
saying.
Leaf,
conversation.
Leaf. I
I
agree.
get
You
what
made a
you're
lot of
saying.
valid points. I think the Nets can go any direction they want right now. We really can. We have the power to do so. It's just we got to start thinking about what makes our team better. How can we get sustainability? Having core pieces, having a good coach. You got the coach. Having a good bench. We have some maybe potential bench piece on this team. But you made the great point tonight. We need a starting core that can dominate on a consistent basis and
Yeah,
build
we
up to
need a
something
starting five. We
sustainable.
need a starting
We
five
need
bad.
that.
We need a
You were
We
right
starting
need a
about
five,
that.
starting
nigga.
five
You're right
bad.
We
about
need a
that.
starting five.
That's why
We
this
need a
Yeah,
draft
we're
is
talking
legitimate
so
about
starting
important.
five.
from the
Yes,
one to the five.
yes,
The one through the five needs to be elite, bro.
Yes, we
right.
need a
That's
legitimate
where,
starting five.
right, and that's where it starts this summer for
We
us.
need an above average competent starting five because I guarantee every last one of y'all, bro. And nobody don't believe so. But if the Cleveland Cavaliers win a championship this year, bro, the mold for a championship team is going to change drastically.
It's already
Right.
been. We already talked about that.
They said Steph just got a scary fall. Oh no.
Oh
Oh
no, no,
shit.
no way, no way, no
Yep.
way, man.
There it
6'11", two
is.
7-footers. You
And
already
there
Well,
it
know
is.
what time it is.
Yeah,
Jimmy
Ain't
Butler's
this a
getting 60
motherfucker?
mil next year, so there goes that.
but
It is
There
what
it
it
is.
is.
you gotta give credit to the Twin Towers, man. You know what I mean? You can't just act like that never happened. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nah,
David
you talking about
Robinson
Duncan
and
and Robinson?
yeah,
I mean
Duncan and
Robinson.
Robinson.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did their
like
thing. Like
yeah,
Yeah,
they
That's
yeah.
definitely did their thing. But he's talking
I'm
about
giving
recent
credit to them.
years,
I'm
like in
talking about recent
2014
years,
and
bro. Like when
right.
yeah.
Notice when I said 2004 Pistons, you count another 10 years, then you got the 2014 Spurs, and then you count another 10 years, and then you got the Boston Celtics. All three of them teams won by committee, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. I'm talking about the year. The year that they won by committee. Now, Jason Tatum is probably going to be a 30, have a playoff rises where he had 30 something points and this, that, the third. That don't mean that they always gonna win. That because that's maybe
Listen,
that's not what you need. You
yeah,
need the
but
other guys
listen,
to come through it as well.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying I think they won by committee with the Chicago Bulls, but Jordan stole the ball from Karl Malone and hit the game-winning jumper. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they won by committee even with Golden State, but KD was the one that was left open because they wouldn't leave Clay and Curry open because they know better, and KD took full advantage of that. So yeah, it's always going to be by committee. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just going off of the example I've seen off of the ABA. Like, yeah, all of those guys had double digits, but there is a clear difference in averaging 29 to 16. Everybody, the next two scorers was 16 and 16. I respect that. But that from 29 to 16 show who was the alpha dog on that team. And I'm just
Right.
saying it was winning basketball. You know, and two things could be true. But at the end of the day, I'm talking about the Nets and what we're gonna do. And I do think that a point guard is essential. That's why I will never be mad if we draft Dylan Harper. I do
Yeah,
think
I think I agree with y'all. I think I
You
agree
know,
with y'all
it
on the.
you
I
know,
think
you
y'all
know,
both.
ano-
I think
eh,
y'all both are right.
you know
I think
another
y'all both
team
are
I
right.
forgot, bro. How did I forget this team? The '08 Celtics. That nigga Paul Pierce was only averaging 19. He was the highest leading scorer with 19. Like none of them niggas was what Kobe was. None of them niggas was what LeBron was. They led, bro, because
KG
they're by
defense.
committee.
KG defense, man, like bro, he was locking up opponents, man. It was
Man,
hard.
we,
Yes,
we got
yes
we
he
got the
was.
worst versions of them in 2013. That's horrible, man. We didn't get them when
Yes
we
he
were
was.
champions.
The fact we try to
Yes,
sell that as a, I mean, guaranteed it is what it is, but we
Did you
really
guys
sold
watch
that
the
as
interview ever? Paul Pierce looked like he wanted to be anywhere but with the Nets, man. He was like, I don't know what the hell just happened. I was with Boston. Now they just dumped me here, and I have to win a title.
I don't
he
know
looked
why they
he
tried to
looked
sell
happy
that
when he was in
chemistry.
Washington.
I don't know
He
why they
was,
tried to sell that chemistry shit. Joe Johnson played the best out of everybody on that team, bro. Like everybody know that.
Now that you say that, I will switch the subject real quick. Ellen, about
mm,
Trey Johnson. Pod said something a while ago about Trey Johnson being another version of Joe Johnson. And at first, when I seen Trey, I said Cam Thomas. But as I've been watching him, I think I agree with Pod that he is another version of Joe Johnson. Do you
Wow.
think so? Have you?
I'm not
Have
going
you
that
looked?
far. I'm not going
to
that
me,
far.
like Joe, I get what Pod is trying to say, but
Joe
I think the
Johnson could
difference is
operate.
Joe Johnson has a like Joe Johnson. He did. I don't know if he came into the league the way, but Joe Johnson had a built.
No.
He had like a big body and was doing what he was doing. Like he had
All right,
weight
take
on
away,
him.
take
Like
away. Hold on, because that's what everybody's talking about. Take away the body. Look at the skill. Look at the handling. Look at the footwork, and look at the shots. And
Yeah,
then tell me if that's not like
no,
a
he
version of
definitely
Joe Johnson.
he got a little bit of Joe Johnson in him
I mean,
in
but
terms of this in terms of the creation. He
if you take
definitely
away
do.
all that, bro, you might as well say he reminds you of another type of player. Like
Nah,
then you
no,
got to
no, no,
think of
no,
somebody
no,
else,
no.
bro. Because
Because
Joe, if it was Joe, if it reminds you of Joe Johnson, you wouldn't have to take all of that away, bro. Like
nah,
don't.
because I'm not
I
saying
just
the
see too
size.
much Cam Thomas
It's
in
not
him.
about the size
Too
or the
slow.
height. It's the style of play. Like if you look at Derek Queen and say Joker, it's the style of play. If you know what I'm saying, it's not about physical. It's not that ability. It's the skills and the footwork and stuff like that. When I looked at it, and I even went back to go watch Joe Johnson, and I've seen the same footwork, the same type of shots. I'm like, damn, like yo, he must have been watching Joe or something because it's like almost identical to how Joe Johnson plays. You know
He
what I
had to
mean?
be watching a lot of dudes because his shot creation is off the charts. Like yeah, I think what my favorite thing with him is he does it at good efficiency. Like he can get you 30 on like 19 shots. Like to me, if you're doing that already at a college level, bro, in a team where you might have in this spacing league where and on a good team and a good system, like dude might ball out. Like I don't think he has the skill set as to where, depending on where he go, he can contribute right away. It might not be winning because he a rookie, but the scoring skill set, the shot creation is definitely there. I just think he got to work more on the defensive end and putting more weight on him.
What
Six
position
six
would you
one
play
ninety.
him at, LM Trey Johnson, with Thomas if we got him? Like, where do we put him, at the 2, 3, or
You
1?
would
Like, how does it work?
you would have to. He has a
Bro, if
long.
we
He
got
kind of
Trey
has a long
Johnson, bro,
wingspan as to where
bro.
you can put him at the experiment, put him at the three.
You better hope he don't get
But
drafted to this team, bro.
I was gonna
You,
hear what he
bro,
said.
the LM, you said it the first time, bro, and I'm laying on that same comment, bro.
yeah,
Y'all,
there's
you
gonna have to
bet,
be some
yo,
convos.
for
There's
any
gonna have
for
to be some
anybody for
conversation.
anybody that want Cam Thomas to stay in this uniform and get paid, you better pray Trey Johnson don't get drafted here. You better pray. You better get on your
I ain't
you
gonna
better get
lie.
on your hands and knees and pray.
Yo, Breezy just gave you that. Like, you. He's like, nope.
I do think there's.
One, I'm a
I
grown
think if
ass
you
man.
get
I ain't getting on my hands and knees. That's for one.
LM,
Yeah,
don't
yeah, that's a
sugarcoat
little much.
shit,
That's a
bro. Say
little
what you
much.
said.
no, I do no, I agree. I think if you get a Trey Johnson or VJ Edgecombe, you're looking at Cam Thomas as expendable. Like it is what it is. I just think with them, I think what they would do, knowing Sean Marks and them, they probably will resign Cam and see what they can do together. Knowing that would be a crazy idea, being that they both creators and they gonna need a ball in their hands. But I mean, it is what it is. They'll probably re-sign Cam since they have to. They got to reach some sort of salary cap or floor, whatever the heck it is, and then go off that. But even with them signing Cam, I still say keep a lookout because regardless if they give Cam the contract, if you get Trey Johnson, yeah, you might have to look at who's expendable. Like you get a taller version of
But
Cam
why
Thomas,
why
or
would you
arguably
make your
better.
first pick a guard when you already got a 20+ point 20 PPG
It
guard
Because
depends
already?
you
who
got to
you
take best
want.
player
Depends who you
available.
want.
You
Yeah,
got to take best
depends who you
player
want.
available. We don't have the luxury to do that and
So
move
Trey
that
so
way.
Trey Johnson better than Derek Queen?
I don't think it's a matter of who's better. I think it's just a matter of if we
Oh
have
my
Wait,
five
God! You
wait.
just
and
How
said
you
he
just gonna say best player available? Then say it's not a matter of who's better.
Because right, because like
It's a
if you on the
you
hold on,
know
I get you, Ellen. If you're on the NBA board, right, and we land at
that's
5 or 6,
funny as hell, man.
and Trey
that was the
Johnson
most
and
backward shit I ever heard.
no, no,
you
no,
That
don't
hold
that
on,
shit
hold
is
on,
you,
like
hold on,
Charlie
hold on,
you
hold
Murphy.
on,
don't
hold
you
on.
I mean,
don't
that shit was
Hold on,
like
yo
hold on.
Hey,
Rick
Hold
let
on,
him
hold
James
on,
finish.
saying,
Let him
hold on,
finish.
"Yeah,
Let him
hold on,
finish.
I don't step.
Let him
I
finish.
wouldn't step on
You didn't let
somebody's
me you
couch.
didn't
Why
let
would I
Ice
do that?
explain it.
Yeah, I
hold
wouldn't
Let
on.
go
Ice
stepping on
explain it,
Eddie
bro.
Murphy's
Like,
couch.
nah.
Let Ice explain it,
If you
bro.
land at 5, right, and Trey Johnson is next, right, on that draft board, and just say Derek Queen is at 11 or 10, then you would go with Trey unless your GM like really wants Queen and you would skip a bucket getter like Trey, which is what I'm saying, hard to find. Everybody think it's easy to find. It's not hard. It's not easy to find a Trey Johnson, right? You will have
Exactly.
to reach. But on the NBA board, if Trey is on every like in the organization, they have their own draft board, and if they got Trey ahead of Queen on that draft board, they drafting Trey first. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
They're
but
So to
looking at the
them,
if
list and they're
Trey is
seeing
better,
six
then
through.
why would they have him higher on the board?
because
If
he's
they
better.
if they trying to draft the best player available.
Right,
There's
but
there's a set order, Jay. One when you see on the draft when they put it at the bottom 1 through 10, right? You see the players that they put in a specific order. 1 through 5. These are the players that you should take. When during the Wemby draft, Amen Thompson was at 4. Asor Thompson was at 5. You see what Detroit did. Detroit took Asor. Houston took Amen. Get the best player. It is what it is. You get the best player there. Cam Whitmore was all the way
Right.
at 20, right? You would be like, why they didn't take Cam Whitmore? But at the same time, you look at it like, it kind of panned out. Look what Detroit doing now. It's all balling. So realistically, that was a good choice for them. But that's what Ice is saying. You would necessarily take Trey Johnson because on the draft board, he had 5. So you would think, oh, okay, you take him because he's the best guy there. Now, in terms of who's the best player, that is to be determined years later. We
Right.
can't determine that in the now. If Queen turns out to be one of them ones and Trey turns out to be then you can look at that and be like, yo, we dead could have took Queen at 5.
Yeah,
But
because
realistically, we
I
don't
think
know.
No,
these
no, no.
scouts
But
get paid
hold
to
on.
try
Somebody
to
said his.
know what's going to
Hold on.
happen in the future. That's the
Hold
point
on,
of
hold
the
on.
scout.
But no. But why did they switch it up and get Tatum at 3 if that's the case? You
Tatum
supposed
was. I think Tatum was always
to.
gonna. I don't think Tatum was gonna be picked over Markel that year.
not breezy. It's because of who the organization wants to pick, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's who they want, whoever they think is. That's why I keep saying whoever you think is the best player, that's who you're going to choose. But when you look at the draft board, right, and you got Flag, you got Harper, you got Ace, and you get to Dylan Harper and be like, I think Ace is better, so I'm gonna take Ace at 2. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's like close back to back, you like, nah, I don't want Dylan. I think Ace would be the better player. That's who you're
And I
going to
think
choose.
that year that you talking about, Breezy, I think Isaiah Thomas was on that Boston team, if I'm not mistaken. So with them, I don't think they would have took Markel Fultz because it's like, yo, we got our guard. We need a wing. So let us go down to 3. You Philly, y'all can have Markel, which turned out to be an amazing choice. And we get Tatum. Y'all can have Markel. We'll give y'all the first pick. Go ahead.
That's
Go
wild.
do with that what y'all will. And we see in the long run, most people would have thought, yo, y'all crazy. Y'all not taking Markel. But we see what happens in the long run. It worked out. So that to me, I think you would judge a Trey Johnson or Queen selection. Let's see where they are by 2031.
Yeah,
Right.
Let's see who the better player is by the
because
time
you
by the time we roll around.
because you can
Right.
choose Queen right now. My bad, John. You can choose Queen right now, right? And be like, I'm gonna take Queen over Trey right now because I think he's the best player, but Trey is high on the board. And if you make that mistake and choose Queen, and then like I'm saying, like a year or two, you see Trey Johnson out here looking like Joe Johnson plus more, then you like, damn, you know what I mean? And Queen not looking right, then you like, oh damn, I didn't chose the wrong player.
It
So I
should be
mean,
right. It should be clear. This applies for either one of them. Like, there's no bias towards Trey Johnson. This applies to either one of them. Trey can be good, and Queen could be a bust, and Queen can be good, and Trey can be a bust. Like, you really don't know. It really depends on the system, the players, the coaches. If they coming into a team where there's really no star, like, it depends on a lot of that. But I think with Trey Johnson, yeah, if he's here, you will have to look at the guard. You don't look at Trey Johnson and be like, nah, I'm not taking it because Cam Thomas is there. Like, you're not gonna do that. You're just gonna be like, all right, we just choose the best player, we figure it out. Same
right,
thing the Bulls did with
Right.
with the famous Jordan story. Like, get Jordan playing my center.
Right.
Like, it is what it is.
And to Ice's point, there are other centers in this draft too, like Maxine Renard, 7-footer, Thomas Sorber, 6'11". Like if our pick is like 7 through 9, I'm looking at Derek Queen or Mallywalk. But if it's under 6, you got to look at best available, whether it's Trey Johnson, Edgecombe, or Jeremiah Fears, who's rising in this draft. We keep talking about point guards too, so it really depends where we're going to fall in this draft and who we can get. But we do have a lot of optionality. We're getting a big later in this draft too, so it really just depends on who is the best fit for this team. Now, I would say this to Breezy's point: if you get Trey Johnson and he's maybe replaced with Thomas, it's kind of like redundant. We're getting a guy to replace a guy in the team, and we should be getting players that fit areas of need that we need right now. Like, we do need a big man that offensively can take over games that Claxton and Dayron can't do right now. So I think Breezy and Ice are right in different ways. Like, it really comes down to who is the best fit where we draw in this lottery. So it'll be interesting to see who we choose.
The only pushback I got with that is that we need everything on this team. Like,
Right.
we need a 1, we need a 2, we already got a 2 if you want to count Cam, but we need a 3, we need a 4, and obviously we need a 5, right? So realistically, you want to say, yeah, we need a guy that can be the best fit, but necessarily, since we're so the lack of talent thereof, I don't think we can afford, Cam Thomas is a 2. I don't think we should go with Trey Johnson. It's just a matter of, that's like if you got Ant coming up at 2 and you like, nah, we got Cam Thomas. We not picking
No,
him yet.
yeah, no,
Like,
yeah,
it makes no sense. Like, it's like, no, like, you're going Ant regardless. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta make that decision and just, see how that meshes out. We gotta see how they work. Two buck
Right.
now. Cam Thomas and Trey Johnson, I think, on the offense would be huge. I think Cam Thomas is locked in already on the defensive end from the short games we've seen. It seems like Horty has them brought in into the defensive end. I'm not saying Trey Johnson going to be an elite defender, but I think he'll have him. Yo, you're not getting minutes if you can't play. If you're not playing defense, I will sub
Right.
you out. Like it is
You
what it is. You're not doing. You're not coming here and just
LM,
scoring.
bro. You seen what happened when we have one defensive liability and one scoring responsibility on the court, bro. Like, what you think gonna happen when we got two dudes, bro, that basically need back end help and left side and weak side help on the defensive end, 1-on-1. We just seen Tyrese Martin get picked on an entire fourth quarter. We saw that. We seen Cam Thomas get picked on in the fourth quarter. We seen that.
Yeah,
Right. We
yeah,
do
but
need
So
to
see,
so
get
I'm
Trey
not I'm
Johnson
not
is
I'm
six
not
You're
of
six
the
right
though,
about
right?
mindset.
that.
I'm not of the mindset of pairing two defensive liabilities together and then
hold
yo, we just gonna score points and
I don't.
whatever.
I don't think Johnson is not He's not really a defense. I think if you get
on. No, no, no,
Edgecombe, it's
That
the
nigga.
same. Even
no, no.
Edgecombe with his better defense, it's the same problem. I think he's gonna be 6'3" at the deadline.
I
So
mean,
you got two short dudes in your
but
backcourt.
if you 6'3" or 6'4", whatever around that, that's POA on the point guard. That means you chasing around like a Steph or a Dame or Trey Young or one of them, bro. Like that's your responsibility is.
Right, but
You're
a
not
lot of
getting
people on
switched
here
on.
said they don't want two short dudes in the backcourt. Trey Johnson is taller than Cam Thomas and Edgecombe. So realistically, you got at least some height in your lineup. You're not getting a dude that's like freaking
So
you can
what's your
target
plan?
on 6'1".
So what's your plan? Running Cam Thomas at the one and Trey Johnson at the two?
But hold on. Before you
Would
get
that
to that,
would that work? I don't.
Trey can play defense, right? What was said about Trey is what we talk about with Cam before. When you have to give so much offense, you only give a little bit of defense. So at his school, that's what they were saying about him. He can play defense, but he is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 scorer on his team. You know what I mean? So his defense is lacking because he got to do so much on offense. So I think he can give a little more defense than he does right now. He's just on a team where he can't
He
really,
is six six.
Horty's gonna
He
have
is
him.
6'6".
Yeah, he's 6'6", so Horty's gonna have him buy into the. I think his defense is gonna be way. If he's here, his defense is going to be way better than we've seen at Texas. He's gonna have a coach that's going to. We already seen him implement. Can't even though Cam Thomas ain't an older worldly defender, but we seen the impact he had on him. Cam Thomas defense
Trey,
before he got injured was the best defense I've seen him play in years.
Facts.
So
So hold on,
so
hold on. So you can
realistically,
see it working with Cam Johnson. I mean Cam Thomas and Trey Johnson.
isn't yeah,
Well, what
yeah.
the
I
positions
think
do
you
they
need.
play? That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Who's
Like
running point?
I would probably put Trey at the. I think Trey can play 1, 2, and 3 realistically.
Ooh, okay.
I think he played.
I'm not
He
putting Trey
kind of played
Johnson at
point
no
guard
three in
at
his first. I'm not putting him at no three in his first 3 years in the league, bro. You got to, bro. You got to get in the weight room or something, bro. I'm not putting him there.
it's not that bleak. When you if you put him at the 3, right? It's not necessarily on
Basically,
offense.
it's a younger Tyrese Martin, bro. Like with more
Yeah, but
talent.
Whoa!
yeah,
Wait,
but
what?
I didn't hold on. I didn't see Keon at the 3. You know what I mean? I didn't see Keon at the 3 this
Yeah,
season.
and that's bad. That's called bad goddamn a lineup. That's what it's called. You don't
Yeah,
put
but
no key on that no three
I'm saying it happens,
unless
and you
you
switch
trying
it
to
around on
lose.
defense, though. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You
but I
switch
thought
it around
Keon
on
could do the
defense.
Bruce Brown role. You're right.
I'm just saying, Trey Johnson is a mix between a guard and a wing. Like
Listen,
you're gonna have a
I need
guard
to
and
know
a wing
something
in
right
his
now,
left.
bro.
And
How many of y'all is trying to bottom out the same way we bottom out this year? The next
We
year.
got to build a
How
core
many
right
of y'all
now,
is trying to
Lee.
bottom out next year?
You're gonna
I don't think it's about us. I think it's about what the freaking front office want to do next year. If you talking about this achieving Zion
I
nonsense,
spent the first. You know
then
what? You know what's
then
crazy? You know what's crazy? LM. I spent the first 15 minutes talking about that, bro. Like, and Jay been trying to tell you the same thing I've been trying to tell you about the said things that could possibly happen in the event that we get Cooper Flag. And now you
No,
tell
I
me it's
didn't. I
about the
never
what the
did.
front office.
No, leave. I didn't disagree. I said I don't think it's going to happen his first year. I did not. I didn't disagree. He's going to be next year. He's going to be 19. I mean 20. He's more. But once he's entered the league, he's still going to be 18 years old, bro. Same thing with Ace. You got years to see what he's going to become, bro. He's not even
Right.
going to be 20 yet. So the fact of the matter is, I agreed with what y'all said. I just said I think next year, 2026, when you see what you have, then the league is going to be like, "Yo, hurry up and put a team around him now."
We
It,
also
it
have
is
more
what it is.
optionality the following year. What can we do this summer realistically to be a top team? That's my only problem. I don't see too many outlets towards us being a legit team other than
Right.
pomp and circumstance. We sell some tickets, look good in the regular season, playoffs. Oh, we got our asses busted. But hey, we got Cooper. We got a star. Like, I don't want that for our team. I want our team to actually have some good success,
Yeah,
not just
stop
do it
saying the
because
word
yeah, Jay
want
wants it.
because that's not the conversation that we having. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Like we don't. I agree with you, but the word want is not the conversation that we have. We talking about what do we think could happen realistically. And
That's y'all angle too, because that's something that y'all think could happen. We
Right.
both
what?
saying the same thing. It's just we just saying what we think. It's not
Uh,
No, he
necessarily an
just
either
keeps saying
or.
I don't want us to do this, and I don't want us to do that either. But we're talking about the Nets here. Talking about
Well,
Sean Marks here.
but I
Talking
well, the
about
think
Joe
one thing you
Tsai
have
here.
right,
I think
well, Jay, the one thing you have right is
Hold on,
Sean
let
and
me ask
Joe.
y'all one question. How many things have the Nets done that y'all wanted them to do?
dude.
Probably three. Three for me.
Like, I'm
They
just
did
being
three
Not
things
a
I want
realistic.
damn
I'm
them.
just
thing.
being realistic.
They did three things for me I wanted them to do so far. Probably. Other than that, it ain't a long list.
They got
Like,
out of the
but
play-in bracket. That's all they really did for me this season. So hallelujah.
it's a
The only thing they really did for me this season actually didn't even start this season. It started in the off season when we got our goddamn picks back. That's the only
That's
thing
one.
they've done.
That's on that list. They did that. That's definitely on that list.
That's all that they've done. And get rid of Ben Simmons, bro, before his
That
deal
that was
They
on
expires.
the
should have
list.
done that way before
They
leave.
should have did
Hey,
that way
See,
before, but
that
see,
was
that's
see,
on the
all
list.
the crap.
John, you speaking to exactly to Jay's point. What what have the Nets really done to make y'all say, yo, yeah, damn, yo, we really on a good track. We really doing them. Not a damn thing.
We don't even
Not
know if we're on the right track right now. We have a good coach, but what is it leading to? I don't even know what this is leading to. I can't even give you an answer on where we're going to be in a year
it's
or two.
leading to the lottery, and I'm gonna say I think I ain't trying to bottom out next year, but I think we will naturally, anyways. You know what I mean? If they use all their draft picks, ain't no way we winning 20 something games next year. Ain't no way. We about to
The
be the
goal,
winner.
the goal for I think next year is you get your guys sign Cam, sign Daron, Zaire, whatever. You will hope you will have one of your top three picks. Hopefully, by the grace of God, praise of the basketball gods. If you lean on Ace, Dylan or Cooper, you got them. And then from that point on forward, I don't think I think for us it would necessarily be we're still a bad team, but there's talent on the team that you could look at and be like, hey yo, we surround these guys with enough
Can we stop with
players.
that basketball
We
guard
you
shit,
know
bro? We all know that's cold for the NBA front office.
well whatever you want to call it. Hopefully they give us a top three pick, whatever. The fact of the matter is you will hope that one of these rookies or one of the top three, they hopefully ball out their rookie year. You see what you got, similar to freaking. And if you're talking about Cooper, I will hope realistically he will have a season where he's a clear rookie of the year. Like that would be amazing. That would tell me we got something to look at towards the
All
future,
right.
bro. In Cooper Flag. So if he bowls out, that to me would be more exciting because it's like we going into another elite draft where you can possibly pair somebody up with this dude who we already seeing look like he can be one of them ones. Now, it might not lead to a lot of wins, but at the same time, you got somebody on your team that you're like, hey, he can be a franchise player. And that is, I think, to everybody would be the hope. If we're winning, we will probably, I don't think we win 40 games next year, But I think it would be more fun to watch seeing that, yo, these young guys, yo, we got talent. Like we can't. We looking at the floor. We actually got talented players, not players that no disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Coming
I'm
from the
I'm gonna
G
be
League.
honest with you, bro. A championship ain't guaranteed at all, bro. It's a whole
What
bunch of
you
shit that
mean
gotta
no
happen.
disrespect come from the G League? What you mean? That sound pretty close to disrespect if you ask me. I mean, you
Breezy, how
making
many players as of right now? As of right now, how many players can you name that are in MVP talks that are from the G League?
stop it, bro. None. I can't zero. Absolutely none.
Exactly. I'm not saying the G League don't got talent. Only person I'm counting in that is Fred VanVleet. He came up in the G League and he balled out and he got a contract and he's doing what he's supposed to do in Houston.
Right.
Only person I'll give.
What about
And
Siakam?
Siakam, possibly. Other than that,
I mean, Siakam was in the G League for maybe like a second or two, bro. He was number 27 pick, by the way. But I mean, I don't
You,
know.
you know what's interesting? I'll give this to Jay and Leaf. You talk about the NBA expecting the Nets to do something big if they get Cooper. Like I understand. I'll give Sean and Joe some credit here with this. They found a way to accumulate a lot of money these last few years. It's turned us to a $1 billion franchise. I'll give them that. Okay, but still, if the NBA is running your decisions, if superstars running decisions, what are Sean and Joe doing then? If everybody else is making decisions for them, how can they stand on their own 2 feet and actually build this team up the right way instead of caving into peer pressure and stuff like that? That's my only kickback on that whole topic right there. Is like
It ain't
who's controlling the
necessarily.
ship
It
then at
ain't.
this point?
I don't even think that's necessarily kickback. It's a good question, but it's a question that can't really be answered because we know we got two Muppets in the front office, bro. They do what they
There you go.
told.
There you go, Leaf. There you go. That's why this whole thing goes like, damn. It's like we're going back in a cycle again. Hey, we get superstars, but we still have first round exit. Like I want us to
we
break that cycle
Listen,
we
somehow.
need
no,
somebody
We
no,
have
in
to
the
no,
get
no,
real
no,
like
no.
stars.
The thing is, bro, like when I said draft, trade, free agent, everything is going in the order like exactly how I said. Draft and listen, and we just talking hypothetical. In the draft, we got a number one pick rating for us in Cooper Flag. Boom. In a trade, we get off these contracts that you want us to get off of and get a star, a all star in return for it, and then fill out the rest of the roster with free agent contracts and whatever and players that's gonna fit on the team. That's the formula to me. You did all three things. You did all three things in one off season, bro, and you did it for a coach that you know that's gonna fight for your organization and basically gonna have players run through the wall for you. He already doing with G Leaguers. Why wouldn't he do it with better players, with better talent?
That's a fair point, but we have to see how he actually does it. Let's remember, Jordy has managed to get a junkyard squad to play well, but it's when you get the real talent, whether that's prospects or some established talent, can he really bring them all together? We have to see if he can actually do it, in all fairness. We haven't seen that yet.
I agree. I agree with that point. You have to see what he does by actual talented
Right.
players.
I
Like,
think I'm back.
oh, go ahead.
I think he's gonna do good because on record, even though it's like 20, 22, 23 wins, most of the wins came against good teams, not bad teams. We know the
Yeah.
good teams, especially on the West Coast. So I think he's showing that, you know what I mean? Like, if we play these type teams, I can get them to play physical, you know what I'm saying, fast or whatever. He just need the right pieces. Because if you beating the West Coast teams, right, that means, you know what I'm saying, like you could compete with the top teams, but you got to have them players to compete. And I think he would be able to compete with the top teams if he had the right players.
Y'all
Yeah.
think if Cooper's here, or realistically, y'all think where we at 23 wins? Y'all think we get more wins than that next year?
No, because if you add Coop, right, and just like I said, if they draft all five, you have five rookies on your roster. Now all of them might not be in the NBA. One of them or two of them might go to the G League. You know what I mean? Depending on where they at and who they draft. If they draft Raynard, he gonna be, you know what I'm saying, any one of them centers, Cart Renner, Raynard, they gonna be on the team. Clax or Daron might be out. One of them might be out. But if you draft five rookies, you're gonna lose. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna look like the wizard. You know what I'm saying? You might have Cam Thomas, You might have Dayron back or Clax back. You're gonna have Clowney. You might have Zaire back. You may have Wilson, or you might have Wilson, or you might have one of them. Your team is not gonna be that good with 5 rookies. You know what I'm saying? They gotta get
I don't
playing
know if
time.
Ice. I don't know if we're gonna have 5 rookies in the rotation, but I do know that Cam Thomas could win with anybody. And the weakest I've seen this, I don't see a lot of backcourts that we don't have potential. You know what I'm saying? I remember Cam Thomas getting busy with DDJ. I mean, Kevin Durant was
And
busy.
Edmund Summer. And
Yeah,
Edmund
yeah,
Summer.
Derek
yeah.
Jr.
But
And
nah,
Ice,
bro.
you
I
said if
don't
we draft
listen.
5
I know.
prospects, will be the
Hold on.
Wizards, Ice.
I know y'all looking for that duo between the
Let's go with
draft
Lee
pick
strategy.
between. Hold on. I know y'all looking for the duo between the draft pick between this one that we about to get in the next season, next year. But the duo between who we draft now and Cam Thomas is what I'm
That's
looking
not the
for.
duo. That's not the duo. That's not the
That's
duo.
what I'm looking
That's not the goddamn duo.
Yo,
for. We
No.
gotta see.
You cannot go, but
We gonna
Breezy, you
see
can't
them.
go into this draft thinking, yo, what can we do to build around Cam Thomas? Really, it's
That's
No,
what
not
I
no,
that.
no.
keep telling them.
I want to see the sample size the Brooklyn Nets let us see play with whoever we draft and Cam Thomas on the same team. I just want to see what's going to happen. I think they're going to be tough. Whoever we
right.
draft, I'm telling you, I've seen KD. I mean, I've seen KD play with Cam Thomas. I've seen Cam Thomas and add something like Jay said,
Jesus
bro.
Christ.
I'm just letting you know there ain't
This
been a
is
teammate. There hasn't been a teammate that Cam Thomas cannot play next to.
my God.
Y'all talk about building around Cam Thomas. It's about adjusting. The same reason.
And
Same.
Breezy, you talking
Hold on.
about
Let me say
Yo,
this.
bro,
Let me say
dude,
this.
David Duke
does
Jr.
Hold
anybody
on. Let me
have
say
a
this.
Cam
Let me
Thomas name count, bro, in the last
listen.
5 minutes?
Listen. Just the same way that
It's the
Nick
Cam
Claxton
Thomas
had to
magnet.
adjust. Can I finish? Can I finish? Just the same way that Nick Claxton had to adjust when there was 4 new starters. There was 4 new starters on the team. So were they building around Nick Claxton? No. But he had to adjust the same way I'm saying Cam Thomas had to adjust. That's why I keep making all of these different comparisons of how the backcourt look. And again, regardless of y'all laughter, Cam Thomas is the one that's been consistent when this team has changed. Nick Claxton and Cam Thomas have been in every rotation that this team has had in the last 3-4 seasons. So that shows to me that not only are they good players, but they're good teammates. Now, I'm not saying there's not room for improvement or things won't change. I'm just saying y'all got to give credit to it.
But yet
Nah, Breezy, that Claxton and
But
Cam
yet
Thomas
Dayron
comparison
Sharp
was
had the best
nasty.
all around game out of any net this season.
That Cam
All
Thomas
that
and
being
Claxton
said,
the thing was nasty, Breezy. We can't let you
Yeah,
get that on.
Claxton, that's one of the worst contracts we ever give out to a guy. Like, he has
Not
regressed
only
in so
that,
many ways.
it's a
It's
difference
unfortunate.
between
and we was
trying to.
talking about the damn contract before he got it, bro. And I said this was oh my God.
Not only
It's
that,
Yeah.
bro. You talking about Cam Thomas being paired up with David Duke Jr. and all these other dudes, bro. None of them dudes were superstars. We talking about a player who, in Cooper Flag, if he come here, bro, the league has been heralding him to be one of them ones. We talking about generational talent type player. So realistically, when you talk about Cam Thomas, it's all about if he who he say he is, how Cam Thomas is going to mess with him, not necessarily the other way around. Is that,
Right.
and we've been asking for a play. We've been saying, yo, the whole point of this is to get a player that's better than Cam Thomas as your franchise player. We've been adamant on that. So
we gotta take
realistically,
ourselves out of the mindset of building
So,
around one
no. So
right,
guy
who's
out
that's
of
the
the
who's
point.
better?
draft.
Who's better than Cam Thomas in the draft right now?
It's not about who's better than Cam Thomas in the draft. It's about the
Ellen
type of
just said that.
No, it is about who's better than him. It's about who's better and who can
Wow.
you look at in the near future of, yo, this is a guy that we can possibly build a team around and have Cam Thomas as part of the core. I think necessarily it's just about the fact of drafting a guy that you can really just have your franchise with in terms of All Star, Team USA, MVP voting. We need players like that on this team, bro. The players
Right.
that we can put in Team USA that can represent us at the Olympics. that can. We need somebody like
We need
that.
we need to we need to keep niggas on our roster far from
Eh,
Team USA. The last time we did that, bro, that shit ended up bad, bro. Like so,
Yeah, I'd rather our players not compete in the Olympics or U.S. tournaments. Just have a few
I'd
months
rather
off
us
to
be
get
a
ready for
under the
fall
radar
season.
roster, bro.
Look,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine.
Everything
But you
that I
still need
everything
players
I
in here that
I
it has
understand
a
that,
name
but
for themselves.
everything that I said about us being on the same wavelength, bro, from start to finish as the 2014 Spurs, like it all makes sense to me, bro. Just guys that's not, screaming out star ability, but they could do a little bit of everything, and they could contribute to winning night in and night out. They don't have to be the head honchos. They don't have to have the number one star quality option, bro. Just as long as we got a quality 5-man lineup and a quality bench to contribute to that set winning, bro. Like, I don't think we need a face. It could be 4 faces of this team like it was for the damn Pistons in '04.
Leave.
I think Jordy got pushed tonight. That's
They
crazy.
still had Duncan, Tony, and Manu, bro.
Them niggas
Regardless,
was
I get
in
what
their
you.
30s.
And if are they winning the championship without them? Yes or no?
No.
Do you know look at what they built? Of course they're gonna win the freaking championship with those three, bro. It's Tim freaking Duncan, the dude that got 5 chips, the dude that got experience, the dude that's been in the league, Mr. Fundamentals.
Focus.
Of course, it's gonna be. I get what you're saying,
Don't
bro, but
focus on the
they're not,
name. Just focus
bro.
on
They're not winning. They're not winning that without Tim, Manu, or
so
Tony
what you
on the
saying? We not winning a
team.
championship without a face, bro. We can't
You
do it by
still need the guy. I get what you're saying. Yes, they all contributed. Kawhi,
we
Patty
need
Mills,
multiple
Danny
guys, bro.
Green. They all contributed, yes. But every one of them could tell you we don't get there without Tim, Manu, and Tony. They
Okay,
don't.
what
Or
I'm trying to
Kawhi.
listen, LM. I need you to lock your mind into the fact that all 3 of those players in that year that I'm talking about. This is why I say I begin my conversations with 2004 Pistons champions, 2014 Spurs champions, bro. They play. Tim Duncan at that point in his career was a role player. Was a
Leave.
role
That's
player,
not the
bro.
point. It's still Tim Duncan. That's the point. Regardless if he's a role player or not. He is Mr. Fundamentals. He can get you
All
19.
right,
He can get you
okay.
20 and 10. They still needed him, regardless if he was a role player or not. You still needed Tony, whether he's a role player or not. You still needed Ronald Ginobili, whether he was a role player or not. They have set the standard for that team. You got 5 chips
What's
with
that
these
shit,
dudes.
LM?
You need them. Green don't work without them. Mills don't work without them. Kawhi don't work without those three. Those are the core, regardless if they're role players or not. They're not lifting that championship up without those three, bro. But yeah, cool. Let Tim Duncan get a little 18 and let Kawhi do all the other stuff. You
To
still need
LM's
him.
point, we need a time machine. Let's go back and get these
I don't think
guys.
LM. I don't think you comprehended exactly what I'm saying, bro. Like you looking at it as like, oh, all right, yo, it's Tim Duncan. It don't matter what age he is. Boom, 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 yo, we got him. We still got a guy. You looking at like all of them names, bro. Like they got him, yo. They still a
Leave. Are
guy,
they
bro.
winning you're talking about championships where the players have won, regardless if it was by committee, still had a star player. They still had a star player, regardless if the
That
player
wasn't the
was
case.
a role player
That
or
wasn't the
not.
case in that wasn't the case in 2014. That just
What
what
you mean?
they wasn't stars then. They were role players. They wasn't
They wasn't
stars.
stars.
No, they wasn't stars in their late 30s. They was role players.
Leave.
This
They
is
All right,
was
good
not
debate.
bro.
I
stars,
gotta
bro.
head out, guys.
You
Have a
know,
good night, everyone.
They
Great show
wasn't.
tonight,
you
guys.
bugging on, Lee. You
They were
bugging.
In
stars. Leave.
2014, they wasn't stars. I
They
guarantee,
were
bro. If you
stars.
have
Leave.
if you have a conversation with anybody that gets on basketball discourse outside of here, they'll tell you that them dudes was not stars. They were role
And
players during
Miami
that
will look
time.
at you like you are crazy. Tim Duncan, not a
Listen,
star. That's the guy we got a game plan against. I don't care if he's a role player or not.
in 2014, he was not a star, bro. Like he wasn't. He was 2 years.
He
He was
was a
2 years
star,
removed from
bro.
retirement. He was not a star
You're
during that
looking
time.
at age and just thinking, yo, the age is LeBron, regardless if he's 40, is still a
And you looking
star,
at
bro.
yeah. Of course, LeBron is yeah, but that wasn't who Tim Duncan
All
was
right.
during that time.
What do you mean?
Tim Duncan was not a star during that time, bro. You
You're
know that.
confused. You're talking about you're
Why
confusing
are you?
stats
Hold up,
and
bro. Why
other
are you
stuff, bro.
fighting this? Why are you fighting this, bro? He wasn't a
Yeah,
star
because you're
during 2014.
wrong. He was
No,
a star.
I'm not.
He just wasn't who he was at 20, but he was still a star.
That's why he wasn't a star. If you wasn't
That's
what
where I
he wasn't
disagree.
what he was, he wasn't
That's
what
where
he
I
was in the
disagree.
2000s. He wasn't what he was in '03. He
And
wasn't
he
what he was in
still
'05. He
contributed,
wasn't what it
Leaf.
was. Yeah, he contributed as a role player, not as a star.
He was still
Stars
Tim
win
Duncan,
MVP.
bro.
Hold up, wait. Stars win MVP. Stars are top
So,
five players in the league.
you
Stars are
just told
top
me Andre
10.
Iguodala won the MVP, so now he a star?
I said regular season MVPs. Stars win regular season MVPs. They
Did he
finished
not win the
top five.
MVP?
Tim Duncan did not win an MVP that year. That's not what
We're
he
not
did.
talking about the year, bro.
That's what
His
I'm talking about.
accolades,
Yeah, I just
his
need you to
accolades.
focus on the year. Stop focusing on
Bro,
his resume. Stop
leave. You're
focusing on
getting
what he was.
leave. You're
He
getting it.
wasn't that in
Leave,
2014. That's a fact.
leave, leave. You're getting it confused, bro. The
No,
year is
you're
not
getting it
the.
confused.
Hold on, let me speak. The year is not the issue. That's what I'm talking about. The year is not the issue. Regardless of what you're saying, they don't make it to the finals. Period. The regular season, regardless if he was a role player or not, they don't make it to the finals. They don't even get to see LeBron. Do you know the
Right.
teams that they had to go through to
I
get
under
to
I
2014?
I understand
They
that,
do.
but
You think they doing that with Danny Green and Patty
hold on,
Mills?
wait. Here's the thing, bro. Like you're getting everything mixed up, bro. In terms of what a star actually is, it's not the yo. Can we do everything without him, bro? Or can we take him? It's all a fact of it was he. Listen, all of the things that I'm relating to as him being a star relates to him in the previous decade. 1999 Tim Duncan star all over across the board. '03 Duncan, one of the biggest carry jobs in league history as a championship. You could go back to the numbers. It's the numbers. It's the numbers. It's the stock. It's the quality. It's the All NBA selection, bro. During that set time. 2014 Tim Duncan was not a star. He was a role player during that time. He digressed. He was 2 years removed from retirement. He wasn't a star, bruh. I'm
Leave. That point is irrelevant, bro. It's irrelevant. And the reason why it's irrelevant is because regardless if you think, yo, he didn't win an MVP that year, yo, he didn't put up the stats that year, he's still him. Regardless of what you're talking about. Yes, he wasn't '03 Tim Duncan. Yes, he wasn't 90. Of course he's not. He's freaking 36 years old. The fact of the matter is, they still won the chip. Yes, by
right,
committee. I understand that.
right.
But realistically, they won the chip. Tim Duncan in that playoff series, regardless if he wasn't doing what he was doing in '03, dropping 23, 10, or whatever, was still a crucial part in that, role player or not. I'm not disagreeing with
Listen,
what you're saying. He wasn't the same dude in '03 and '99. Yes,
I
of
don't know.
course.
I guess we gotta
But
agree to
I dis
disagree, bro. Cause like
yeah,
I don't.
he may not have been a star. I agree with you on that. He wasn't '03 Tim Duncan. He wasn't a star in that capacity, but he still was a major effect to what they did. Regardless if he wasn't dropping 19, they still had to guard him. They couldn't Bosch couldn't do nothing when he was doing the big shots. There was nothing he could do. He was like, yo, I can't guard this. It is what it is, bro. You gonna have to score. Eric Spoelstra was frustrated with Tim Duncan. So it may not be in '99 Tim Duncan, but he still had to do what he had to do. I agree. He wasn't the star that he was. I agree with you on that. He was a role player. I'm just saying they still needed him to get it done, along with Manu and Tony. Like that's just my opinion about it. And if you talking about that's
Oh,
gonna be us, then yeah, we still need that guy to connect everything together if we're
all I'm
gonna win by committee.
Listen, just to end it, bro. Listen, if anybody look at that 2014 roster, bro, and they never watched the Spurs a day in their life, bro, they swear, or they would tell you, yo, this team won it strictly off a committee, bro. If they look at that 2014 roster, bro, and look at the numbers from
We
top to
going
bottom, I'm
we
telling
gonna
you,
go
that's what
to
they would see.
We're gonna go through the numbers respectfully because I was probably gonna start a whole stream of Leaf just going over what he was talking about. But here it is right here. I guess we could do it another time, but this is by committee. This is the championship team with the Detroit Pistons. You got one, two, three, four, maybe just shy of double digits in the occur, but four players, but two players averaging 9 points. So yeah, you gotta say. But look, Ben Wallace was an MVP candidate, DPOY candidate, All Star. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just no role player. Like I understand the point that you make, but it don't have to be 100% accurate. But you made your point mentioning the '04 Pistons. Now we could go to the what you said, the 2014
2014
Spurs.
Spurs. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, they definitely win by committee. The 04. I said that too as well, but I'm more harped on the defense and how well they were that season.
Mind
They
you,
were
hold
they were second in defense, and that's what I was saying.
right.
The
Hold
04,
on,
like
Breezy.
they
Before you continue, right?
yeah.
Tim Duncan, since we speak specifically in the Miami series, Alpha one, two, three. They went to 5 games, I think. So he played 33 minutes, 38 minutes, 30 minutes, 31 minutes, and 33 minutes all in those games. First game, he dropped 21 and 10. Second game, dropped 18 and 15.
This the playoffs you talking about.
Right, this is the finals. This is the finals. When they made it to the finals, he dropped 21 and 10. Second game, 18 and 15. Third game, 14 and 6. Then I think the fourth game he dropped 10 and 11, shot what 50%. And then the last game he dropped 14-8, had like 3 blocks, went 5 for 10. So realistically, he wasn't necessarily the main guy, which is why I was agreeing with Leaf about. But judging off the stats that he put up, he still was a problem. You talking he was dropping double doubles in each game, regardless he wasn't doing what he was doing in '99. But
Right.
he still was
Big
at 36
fundamentals.
years old. Yo,
Big
he's one of them
fundamentals.
ones we got to right exactly. So
Mhm.
Kawhi Leonard was doing what he was doing. We all remember what Kawhi was doing. They all was winning by committee. I'm just saying, without Timmy D, especially by reading these stats, I don't think they win that shit. You
Mhm.
still need your core. You still need those 3 guys. You still need
Right.
Manu, Tony, and Tim Duncan.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you said all of that, but like just to let you know, like throughout the regular season, they had 6 players averaging 10 plus point 10 or more points per game throughout the regular season. In the playoffs, they had 4 players averaging double digits and another 2 players averaging over 9 points a game. That was Boris Diaw and then Danny Green. The highest
Right,
score the highest score on their team for the playoff run was Tony Parker with 17 points per
right,
game, 5 assists. The Tim Duncan was averaging 16 points, 9 assists.
right.
Tim Duncan that season didn't finish top 10 in MVP voting and didn't finish top 10 in DPOY and didn't make an All NBA team or All Star team that year.
But time out. Regardless of it being role plays, right? Now let's talk about these roles. Now, if you guys Timmy D averaging 16 and 9 assists. For one, 9 assists,
At
you said?
36, by the way.
You
No,
said
no,
no.
no, no, no. So I said 16 points, 9 rebounds for him, and it was 5 assists, 17 points for Tony Parker.
Okay, so for one, you got again, even though you can't go to Tim Duncan on the offensive side of the ball the same way you could back in the day, you still got him averaging shy of a double double. Now that being said, you got an inside outside game, and you know Ginobili and Parker could get downhill. They gotta respect the alley oop or the dump off to Timmy D every time. And just the way they know the game, the way they play the game. Ginobili, for one, let's call it what it is. He could have started on a different NBA team if he wanted to, but he chose
True.
the Spurs. So again, this committee wasn't just any committee. This was You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A
it was
team that was
it was a
I mean,
high
these
it was
niggas
a
that
high
good
chemistry.
niggas that won 4 championships
Yeah,
and
it
was
was a high
yeah.
chemistry and it was a high order type of committee, bro. Like for sure. And the pieces and the other exterior pieces that added to that, Boris Diaw, high IQ player. He wasn't I threw the roof with the numbers, but he was a high IQ player. Danny Green, great money shooter. Other players are like on
So
the team.
what was the 2013 to 2014? What season y'all wanted to go to?
2013, 2014 Spurs. Just type in 2014 Spurs
I
in
got it
Google.
right here. I got it right
Yeah.
here.
For
So
you, right?
So look. So basically, I wanna you we could go to the regular season too, not just the you know what I'm saying, not just the playoffs, just to give you a gist of what they was doing. Now, we talk about double digit scorers, you got the Spurs. Again, the whole conversation is about winning by committee. You got one, two, three, four, five, six players in double digits, two players that average 9 points per game, and one player that average 8 points per game. That's winning by committee. I get it. But to the point, you could see that, yeah, in my opinion, with the Spurs, them being coached well as they are, them winning by committee is no surprise. And I'm saying that to say this is by design. You feel what I'm saying? They won 5 championships this way.
Well,
This isn't me telling you what the game is. This is me studying the game, seeing what it is, and then bringing it back to you guys. You feel what I'm saying? Um, yeah, but that's it.
I agree.
yeah,
Like I said, I agree. I don't necessarily. They've always been even though Duncan was the guy with Ginobili and Tony, they've always been a we all we're all in this together type time, and they've always been that kind of team. I'm just saying that realistically, regardless if he wasn't in All Star voting or MVP voting or whatever the case may be that year, going on 36, everybody you can't tell everybody in the league, yo, that's still Tim Duncan. Yo,
right.
that's still
But
them. You can't say
LM,
that.
LM. Hold on for clarity though, because y'all keep saying that he was in the MVP top 12, so he wasn't in the top three, top 10. He was the 12th guy. You know what I'm saying? When they was talking about MVPs, he was 12th
Right.
in the league, and when they was talking about depoys, he
I
was
only thought they
13th in
counted
the
up
league.
to 10. I don't know why they counted
Listen,
that far back.
I think they
listen,
switched
listen.
it up
It
a
ain't that far
little
back.
bit.
It's only
I
two
got
back
question
at
though.
the
I
top.
got question. I
Listen,
got
I'm
question.
saying that to say that this is notoriety for his consistency through his career. Now, you can obviously see that a player like Tim Duncan has always been consistent through his career. Not to mention, he's 37, playing 74 out of 70, started 74 games and was at 74 games. At 37, he was like, because if we're going to acknowledge that part of it and him only averaging this and that because of his age and him not necessarily, I'm saying what I'm saying is he's not a shell of himself. He's still a valid, a solid basketball player. Because if you're what 37-year-old is playing 74 games, y'all love to talk about LeBron. Is LeBron playing 74 games at 37? Like
I
Right.
think
respectfully, you know
I
what I'm
Let me
think
ask
saying?
I
you.
Like
think
Let me ask you a question.
Kareem and Karl Malone did it, and they did it on more minutes, bro.
Right.
Like so, 32 minutes a game, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, it's over half of the game, but that shit is another eighth. It shit is basically another 1/8, bro. Like, trust me, you're getting time off, bro, because you're getting the rest that you need in those set games, and
yeah, you
even playing
should.
32
That's the
minutes
way it's
because
supposed to be done.
because when
See?
you got a bench,
You said that
and
before.
I continue by saying when you got a bench that's producing on the level of a Boris Diaw, of a Danny Green, and other guys that's coming
Tiago
off that
Splitter.
bench, Tiago Splitter, Ginobili, who was
Marco Bellinelli.
Marco Bellinelli and Ginobili. When you got a bench that's producing on that level, you could take that. Like you could basically the 32 minutes doesn't really look like much. 30 like Steph Curry was averaging in 2016 he was averaging 30 points off 30 minutes per game. That means he barely played the fourth quarter. Like
All right.
so
So
people got to understand, bro, like when you see the 32 minutes at 40 something years at 30 something years old, bro, it's not as crazy mileage as you think it is.
Let me ask this
Trust me.
question though, right? Let me ask this question.
Yeah.
There's people right now who have been the one All Star, and is considered still a star with one All Star, right? Being to the All Star one time. There's people in the league that is considered a star who's been to the All Star twice and still be considered a star. So when you say, I get what LM's saying because I'm gonna say the same thing. He's been a star for so long, like you can't just because he's not at his peak doesn't mean his title is removed. You keep
Right, that's
being
my
you,
point. Right.
you keep being a star. Tim Duncan's a star regardless. He could retire. He could be retired for 10 years.
Oh no,
Tim Duncan is
I
still
don't
a
agree with
star.
that. I
This
don't agree
isn't
with that.
Darius Garland. Is he a star? Or he's not.
He an all star, and I don't know if he a star. Like saying star or all star, bro. Like I think that's mostly like I
No, no,
think
no,
that's
no. It's the
I think
same.
that's mostly no. I think that's mostly reserved for the guys that we know. Like you ain't even got to think about it. Like Luca is still a star. LeBron at his age is still a star, bro. Like we never seen nobody at the age of
So
40
let's put it like
doing what
this
he's
then.
doing.
At Luca at 36, do you think he's still gonna be a star?
No,
All
You're right. That's wild.
right.
That's
That's
wild.
wild to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild to me. But
okay, all right. You think Harden is still a star at his age?
yes, Harden's going in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he's still a
He's
Okay.
going to
star.
be a Hall of
He don't
Famer.
lose. He's
Yes,
not. He's
Russell
not
Westbrook
losing
to
it.
me,
Are they still a
Russell
star? He's
Westbrook may not
Kyrie and the
be
Clippers right
So you
now.
think
OKC Westbrook,
so
but
you think Russ in a
he's still
Nugget
a
uniform
star.
is still a star?
Russ is a Hall of Fame. He
He's
No,
a
passed.
no.
He's a
Is
Hall
he
of
Hall
a
of Fame.
star?
Famer.
I don't know. No, not Hall of Fame, but is he a star?
He's a you're not listening to what we're saying. He's a Hall
Right.
of Famer. That's the
Y'all
point.
changing. You see, y'all changing shit up, bro. Like, is
No,
he
No,
a
no,
it's
no, no.
star?
not.
Yes or no?
Leave. No. Russ is past that. He's past that.
Oh, okay, okay, but it's
He's
no.
past.
I
He's
know he a
past that.
Hall of Famer, bro. See, I don't need y'all to switch it up. I don't need y'all to talk
It's
about
not
what
a
he.
switch.
Russ,
It's not
Russ,
a
No,
switch
because
Russ,
up.
when
Russ.
y'all say he's a
You
Hall of
just thinking
Famer, y'all
about. I think
acknowledging
you're
what.
just confusing star
No,
with
y'all
age, bro.
acknowledging what he did.
He's
Is he
still
No,
a
a
star.
bro,
star right now?
you're
This
confusing stars
year,
with age. You're confusing stars with age.
I'm not confusing stars with age.
Russell.
I'm asking, is he a
I got you. I
based
got you.
on based on what you see this year? Is he a star? Yes or no?
Russ don't lose his star title. Leave.
Oh my god!
He don't
Oh,
lose the star title. He's
oh
done too
god!
much to lose a star title. He had one. He had a bad season with the Lakers. Russ is still Russ. He come out the next year and what he do? Triple doubles. Russ is Russ. He one bad year don't take his star title away for having so many All Stars or whatever. He's still a star. At the end of the day, he's still a star. He's not losing it because of bad season. You know what I'm saying?
His role might be different. He's
Right.
not OKC Russ no more. I agree with you on that. He's not Mr. Triple Double like that. But his role on the team in terms of what they do, Jokic specifically asked for Russ. Yo, bring him over here. Cause he know what Russ can do. He's a star in the league. He knows what he's gonna bring to the table. And clearly it's working. Cause this is the best I've seen Russ look in a minute. So realistically, yeah, he may not be OKC's star Russell Westbrook, but he's still a star in the rate that when he, what is he 36 now? When he's at the end of his time, or I'm out of here. His resume speaks for itself. He's always gonna be looked at as a star. That's not that title can't be taken away from Russell Westbrook. Same thing with Jokic when he gets out of here. Same thing with all of these other dudes. They're all gonna
I
be
mean,
stars.
we just gonna have to agree to disagree. I just don't agree with that. Like, I think you a star for a certain period of time in your career, and then it's like as you age, obviously, bro, like you not that anymore. Not a lot of people is not blessed to be a star for the entire career. I mean, LeBron is one of those people. Jordan is one of those people. Kobe is one of those people. Kareem, Magic is one of those people. Shaq, on his last legs, I don't think he was that, bro. Like, that's just me,
Even
bro.
with them
Like,
losing, Kevin Durant to me is still a star
Kevin Durant is still that. But I mean, obviously, because
at 36 years old. It's just that
because
Tim
the
Duncan
number.
didn't have the flashiness of those players that we mentioned it, bro.
I
And
don't
that's the
think it's
reason
about
why he
flash. I think it's about production, bro. Like if you don't got your said production that made you a star to begin with, and that fall off is drastically like completely off, then I don't think that makes you a star. But I mean, I listen.
But
I'm look.
that's where we disagree because Tim Duncan was never a 30 point per game guy. He
Nah,
was
he didn't
always
need to
around
be
the
30,
19
bro,
20
but he
19
but
20 range.
but when no, when he was 20, when he was 24 and 12 in his MVP years in 24 and 12 during most of the 2000s, or 23 and 12 for most of the 2000s, bro, like that's what made him that star, bro. Like that's what made him top 5 in the league. That's what made, when we look at players that's top 5 in the league, nobody top 5 or top 10 in the league, bro. Like we gotta count how many people outside of the top 10 or outside of the top 15 that's said stars. That's quote
It sounds
unquote
like you just
stars.
speaking to numbers. Like
I'm
if they got to still be
speaking.
dropping numbers at a certain
What
age
what
in
what
order
does
to be
your
a
what
star.
does your game produce?
And produce 5 championships for Tim Duncan.
Yeah, yeah.
He retired as arguably people say one of the best power forwards to play the game.
By far,
That's his
hey, listen,
resume.
yeah, that is his resume. But like during year by year, bro, when we go down to your production, bro, like if I'm looking at, I'm like, yo, oh damn, he fell off. Yeah, he ain't what he used to be, and he ain't no star no more. We've said that about players in the past. We have.
Hold on, yeah.
I don't think about that when it comes to him because they made the playoffs since he's been on the team, and San Antonio ain't reached the playoffs since he retired.
Hold on, yeah.
So
I apologize to interrupt this great conversation just to be messy, just to be petty. I'm looking on the phone. I'm looking. They got Precious Achua. They said the NBA has opened up an investigation into Knicks forward Precious Achua for allegedly betting on his unders and manipulating his own pathetic and his own statistics. Sources tell ESPN. Is this a joke? Like,
It gotta be. There's too many niggas getting lined up for the same shit, bro. Like
yeah,
I
I
think
don't
I don't
know.
know. I ain't believing in it.
I seen that too. I don't know if it's true, but I seen the same
I
thing.
seen somebody bought the Boston Celtics today though.
I
Seen
seen that too.
that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
6.1 billion, I think.
Listen. I look at it for what it is, man. And again, I like our conversation, but I wanted to mention the Knicks to say that's how you don't build a championship team. You can't, you know what I mean, change the core the way they did and expect just because these players are competitive that they're gonna be better than teams that have the chemistry because they've been together. Say what you want about the Cavaliers, but Mobley and Allen, they playing a lot of games next to each other. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, they're racking them games up. They getting a lot of the experiences. They just had one of their first 3 game losing streaks. You know what I'm saying? So they winning and losing together. You feel what I'm saying? Chemistry. You can't piece that together. Even the Heat when they had LeBron and Bosh that first year, they ain't win the finals. They could be good as they want to be, but you wasn't going to beat the more cohesive team, right? Right, LM? You're not going to beat the Spurs when they the more cohesive team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
They, when
You gotta.
you say that the Spurs had more chemistry than the Heat that year that the Heat lost it, that NBA championship.
Oh yeah, I mean they was number one in the West. I think it was like 16 and 20. Mind you, as long as to me during that year when you had Pop at the forefront, Tim Duncan, Tony, and Ginobili, like they front and you gotta give it to the front office. Like they really put pieces around those guys. Uh, Developing Kawhi Leonard into what he was, getting Patty and Bellinelli and all those guys. They really put a team around them that's just like, yo, y'all not who y'all are anymore at 19 and 20, but y'all can still produce. So you know what? While we still got y'all, while y'all can still produce, you gonna put players around you that complement y'all well. Kawhi turned into what he was. Shout out to the coaching staff or whatever, and they was rocking. Went 60 and 20, went into the finals, did what they had to do, and they Tim he got his fifth, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
is what it is. So I don't necessarily disagree with the committee part because they all took a hand in it. Like they all had did what they had to do. Kawhi had to guard LeBron. Danny Green, the Green was arguably the best 3-point shooter I've seen. He ain't been that Danny Green since, bro. He was arguably the best catch and shoot 3-point shooter I've seen in my
I ain't
life
gonna lie, that
in
nigga
that
Gary,
series,
that
bro.
nigga Gary Neal was
Gary
snapping the year.
Nelson, yeah, Neil, yeah, he was
Gary Neal
balling.
was
Like,
snapping the year before. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie to you.
and
yeah,
again,
so
you know what I noticed too, and especially with a team like the Brooklyn Nets, they could benefit from playing the inside outside game. Like we take the threes that we take, and that's because of the penetrate dish. But we don't really got nobody under the 3-point line that make the defense gravitate towards them for them to get open threes. To the point, Duncan getting these guys like Danny Green threes. Trust me, the space. This y'all always love to talk about spacing. The spacing he was getting because of what the Tim Duncan did to the defense. Any shooter would have. I won't say any shooter would have had a good day, but trust me, he definitely gave those jump shooters space and time to get their shot off. You know what I'm saying?
that's the reason Miami we ain't got Ray Allen that following year. They saw what freaking Green and Neil was doing. It was like, yeah, we need one of them shooters too. Yo, Ray Allen, pull up. We
Yeah.
need something to we need something to combat that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo, hold on. I'm about to close out, but this is the last part of the show. Hold on, I hope the chat hitting the like button, man. We 3 hours in, man. Subscribe to the page. Subscribe to me, Ice and Leaf, LM Heavy on Twitter. Definitely still want to get an interview with him one day. But the last part of the show is Lou Will versus Brandon Jennings. I feel like this is good for basketball. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, it becomes contagious and it spreads to the All-Star game. And
You said
you know,
Lou Will versus Brandon Jennings. And
yeah,
what?
it's
A
in the
one v
back,
one
one?
v one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1v1.
I ain't gonna lie.
2009 draft class having some beef up in. They had
Now,
Yeah,
some
did
beef in
I
you
there.
think
see? Did you hear what they was
That
talking
nigga,
about
nah,
with
nah, that nigga Brandon
Brandon
Jennings,
Jennings?
he just be salty about a lot of shit,
nah,
bro.
hold on,
Like
hold
I
on.
ain't.
What'd you say, Ice? What'd you say?
Did you see why that what he was talking about? What they was talking about with him? Like they were saying like he couldn't do certain things, and he was like, I'm the reason why people, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even go to college. I was paying my mama's rent at 14 from hooping. Like,
Mm.
y'all don't know what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? To the type of player that I am. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
went overseas and
Who you
came
talking
back.
about? Lou Will?
Nah, he was talking about
Brandon
B
Jennings.
B Jennings? Yeah, yeah, B Jennings was doing that. Yeah.
yeah. So he like I came straight into the league and I was like that. Y'all acting like I wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like
He
Trust
y'all
me.
wasn't
was.
doing what I was doing. You know
He
what I
He
was
was
mean?
like
like
that
he
when he
was
came
like
into the, he
that.
was
He
like
was
that when he
like
came
that.
Bro,
into the
I'm
league.
not gonna lie. When I see him play, he was an automatic bucket. Y'all like to call players buckets. This guy,
I think
he
Brandon
could,
Jennings was out of control in Milwaukee, bro. I ain't gonna hold
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Well, it started from there, and then he started calling out. He called out like 3 people, right? And then Lou Will answered though, that he won 1v1. Like, you know what I'm saying? People be talking crazy, and I gotta show y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I can still hoop. I don't know if he can still hoop though. You know what I'm saying? But
My nigga Lou Will filled up on lemon peppers or something, bro. Like I don't know, I don't know if Lou like listen. I'll be honest with you, Brandon Jennings, bro. Like he one of them niggas. He get emotional. He it don't take him much, bro. Like to get
So
him rolling,
wait,
bro.
Y'all
so
Like
know,
but
hold on. Y'all know
Lou
how
wants to
this.
face Brandon Jennings in a 1v1.
Right. Hold on. Let Ice finish. If it's Brandon Jennings versus Lou Will in a 1-on-1 right now, who you got?
shit, I don't know. That's tough. You
I
know what I'm
don't know. I ain't
saying?
seen none of them niggas hooping in a minute, bro. Like I
Yeah,
think
that's
if
tough.
I had to say, I think Brandon Jennings still younger, bro. I mean, if I
Yeah,
had to say, but I
yeah.
mean,
He had that injury. You know what I'm saying? But I both of them is buckets. You know what I'm saying? Both
They
buckets.
yeah.
were.
Well, you talk about Lou, you talk about
Nah,
nigga. He ain't
let's
never
go
met
to
a
the
shot he ain't
numbers,
like.
man. Who y'all want me to see me pull up first? Brandon Jennings or Lou Will stats? I'm about to pull up
Uh,
Brandon Jennings. I'm pulling up
yeah.
Brandon
You could
Jennings,
put up
man.
Brandon Jennings because Lou Will was a bench player, so I
Yeah,
mean,
I remember him, man.
Milwaukee
Yo, he
Brandon
from
Jennings was.
Compton too. He from the hood. You heard?
Yeah, man. He was talking. He was talking
Yeah.
loud. I forgot why it started though, but I just heard. You know what I'm saying? Because Gil
Yo,
posted that.
his first year as in the league, he averaged 15 points,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. He was nice.
Yeah, I think it was 16 the following year. Then he averaged 19, I think, in 2011.
Nah,
17,
yo,
15,
Brandon Jennings
15.
ain't
Yeah, he
no
was
joke,
balling, bro.
bro.
Yeah,
Listen, listen.
Milwaukee Brendan Jennings was a problem.
He
I ain't
played
I ain't
gonna
80.
gonna
lie.
I ain't gonna
He
lie.
played
Lou
82
Lou
out of
Lou and Lou
83
on the
games,
Clippers,
bro.
bro, was averaging 20 off the bench, bro. So I mean,
Bro, no. I'm talking about when he started in the league. When I pull up and I did this contrast, and I looked at Lou Will early in his career. He was not putting up numbers like Brandon Jennings. That is a
do you
fact.
know who he was sitting behind, bro? He was sitting
No,
behind
no.
he was sitting behind Iverson, my nigga. That's why he wasn't, bro.
If
Like,
they were smart, they would have put him next to Iverson. Maybe they would have
I would
did.
have never did no shit like that. Them niggas would have got cooked.
Listen, all I know is Brandon Jennings versus Lou Will. Brandon Jennings' first 6 seasons averaged double digits. His high being 19, his low being 15. And then there's the next 5 seasons after that. This is like his shell of himself. This is just his former self. So like, he wasn't
Right,
to the
but
point.
the
but
injury, the
once
injury.
once again, bro, Brandon Jennings won six man of the year, averaging 20 something off the bench twice, bro. Like for the Clippers, bro. Like
You
as a
talking about Lou
bench
Will, you
player.
meant. Lou,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
meant.
Lou will. If I'm averaging 20 something as a bench player and you barely touching 19 as a starter, bro, something wrong there.
Wasn't it the time
Bruh,
was different
that's
for
that. You got
Lou.
to give context to that. Lou Will was in the league for like 3-4 years before he did that.
I don't give a damn how long he was in the league for. If I'm touching 20 something, if I'm touching 27 something consistently before you as a starter and you was the head honcho of that Bucks team, if I go back to that team, the second best player that they had was probably Andrew Bogut. My nigga, did something wrong there, bro. Like I'm
Hold
I ain't
on.
gonna lie. Milwaukee was type trash them years too,
And
though. Jennings
again,
was a bucket though.
I want y'all to see this because two things, and I wish Jay was here for this because we was talking about it, how they should go to the All-Star game. And I don't know if y'all remember me saying this is what Mikal Bridges need to do. I said, yeah, Mikal Bridges need to go to one-on-one school. He need to go play with the big three. You know what I'm saying? So he can learn how to get to the basket on the ISO because this shit crazy. So I'm saying that to say this could spark something good for the NBA. I don't know what they gonna do
the
with
more and
this
more I look
game,
at
but
these
this
numbers,
is
bro,
good,
this shit look like Emmanuel quickly versus Cam Thomas to me, bro. Like, come on, bro.
bro. Stop it. Hold on, look.
Bro, okay,
Hold on.
go look at quickly numbers and tell me if I'm
Listen,
wrong.
listen. Okay,
Go
bro.
look at it.
Not going to quickly next. I'm going to lemon pepper Lou numbers next. But again, when it come down to Brandon Jennings, he took a lot of 2 pointers. He wasn't somebody that would look like he was going to take a mad 3 pointers. So his style is downhill point guard to get to the rim, be faster, quicker, type shit. So we gonna see. Let's look at Lemon Pepper Lou stats. But I wouldn't play with Brandon Jennings, and if I had to pick, I'm going with. Let me look at both players first. Let me look at both.
I ain't gonna lie. You're not gonna be impressed with Lou's stats in the beginning, my guy.
I know. That's what I
Right.
try to tell Leaf.
But
Hold on.
I think towards 2000 and if I'm not mistaken, 7, he started picking it up. But
Mm-hmm.
5,
First two.
05 and '06, yeah, them numbers
Look.
was
First,
off.
Just to let you know, all of those stats, bro, by Lou Williams is all off the bench.
Right.
bro.
True,
Okay, but
true.
again, some of that became something he became comfortable with. You keep saying that like he wasn't comfortable with it, and he's just some underdog that rides to
No,
the
he
kids.
never. I don't think he
That's
ever could have started, nigga. He was a legitimate bucket, nigga. That's what he
okay.
was.
So
Think
keep it
that's
I
Cam
okay. So
Thomas?
if you're
I
gonna
give
say
him
that,
the
keep in
comment.
mind that Brandon
Ain't
Jennings
nothing.
was a
Ain't
starting
nothing wrong
point
with
guard.
being a legitimate bucket, bro. I'm keeping in mind that Brandon Jennings, bro, is Emmanuel quickly, bro. Like in this conversation, and Lou Williams is basically Cam Thomas.
Bro, I'm saying that no, these are grown men out of the NBA talking shit to each other because Brandon Jennings is not jacking these players being better than him. He even said he was better than Drew Holiday. Both of these dudes be on podcasts. Lemon Pepper Lou got a podcast. You feel what I mean? He was just on a podcast. Brandon Jennings talking shit. They get excited quickly. Watch them on those podcasts, man. You can't be talking shit to them. I'll bust your ass. You'd have tried to dunk on me. I would have hit you with an elbow to the chest. Your
Yeah.
ass fell to the floor. That's how them NBA players be talking about back in the day. Like, shit, let your ass try to dunk on me. I would have motherfucking
It's
I
body
don't think
slam
they're
easy.
gonna
you.
host them when we run
It's
tournaments like
easy
that,
to
bro.
talk that cash, bro, when you ain't hitting the court no more. I mean, not saying that like they was doing it when they was, bro, but
But that's the whole point. They are about to hit the court.
And
They like,
they still hoop. They don't. They still be hooping. Not to the NBA fitness hooping, but they
right,
still be hooping. You know
right.
what I mean?
I seen Vince Carter dunk. He had a suit on. He had a suit, and he might have had it on some Stacey Adams
The
dunking the basketball.
same Vince Carter that was talking to Mikel, telling him, "Yo, you should dunk on me."
Right.
This is crazy.
Mm-hmm. So who y'all got? Where y'all at with it? Y'all heard me. Y'all didn't hear me. If
I
I had
don't
to go
know.
with Lemon Pepper Lou or Brandon Jennings, I'm gonna say Brandon Jennings is like that, man. Unless he
bro, you
injured, I'm gonna.
bro,
It's tough, man. And that's
it's
a
it's it's just
That's a tough thing. I can't
I don't I like
adamantly say.
listen, I don't think it should be
I
tough for
like
the
that they accepted the challenge. I like
I
that
don't
both
think
of them did that.
don't think it should be tough, bro. Because yesterday we was talking about how Emmanuel quickly ain't better than damn Cam Thomas, but somehow, some way, a nigga that's averaging 20 something off the bench consistently, and a nigga that never touched 20 in a starting lineup, bro.
hold on,
Like, wait a
hold
minute.
on. But like Brandon Brandon Jennings went overseas. He didn't go to college. You know what I'm saying?
I know where he went, bro.
He went,
He went
but
overseas for a year because he didn't want to go to college. He did what Lamelo did.
and he was already right. That means he was already pro ready. You know what I mean? He was already pro ready.
Okay, yeah, he was
Right.
pro ready with 15 a
Exactly.
game,
So he
15
was
and
I
ahead.
5 a
mean,
game. That's cute.
the closest he got to 20 was his third year, which
19,
is
yeah, like
2011.
Wasn't
yeah.
that what after that? Didn't he get injured?
Nah, he averaged
After the
17.
Bucks
He averaged 17 last year.
after the Bucks years, bro, like he was starting to lose his step a little bit, man. He only lasted 8 years
Nah,
in the league.
he yeah, like he was balling in
Lou Williams
Milwaukee.
played 15 plus, at least 15 plus years in this league, and he was an absolute bucket, bro, and averaging consistent double figures off the bench. Like,
He wasn't
excuse
averaging
me.
double figures after
So
2014-15 or after 2014-15. There's a significant
Okay,
drop
a
off.
couple of years he wasn't, but I mean,
hold on,
listen,
chat. What y'all got, chat? Chat. What y'all feel? Y'all, because I see player one talking about lemon pepper Lou. I'm just trying to. We just, we ain't putting this on a parlay or nothing like that. We just talking basketball. You feel what I mean?
If you got Cam Thomas over Emmanuel quickly, then you got Lou Williams over
No,
Brandon Jennings,
man.
bro. It's simple.
No.
It's
Listen,
simple, bro.
listen. This is what I'm trying to tell you. For more, I'm not trying to bring it back to the Brooklyn Nets yet. I want more of the emphasis to be on this being implemented in the All-Star weekend. Put this one-on-one, take this NBA and run with it. Try to get motion with it. Try to see if you could capitalize off this in the All-Star weekend. See if the fans want it. I want to see more one-on-one. I'm glad this is
With the
happening.
old guys or the current
I don't
stars.
want to see one on ones,
No, with the
period, in the
current
All
players,
Star
with the
weekend,
current
bro.
players,
Just bring it back to where it was, bro.
Oh,
Just tell them
there's gonna
niggas.
be a lot of egos, rules. We already
Yeah,
know what that's gonna
I
be.
don't want to see one on
yeah.
ones at All Star weekend, bro. I'm out on that.
I do. I want to see one on ones. I want to see Kyrie try to guard Kyrie Irving for 3 points, man. I want to see that, man.
They probably not even going to. I don't think they will even volunteer. Like I think out of pride, out of that it's going to be televised to millions of people. You already know how prideful NBA players are, bro. You gonna see freaking what's homeboy name on the freaking Clippers?
Mm.
Bones Holland beat one of these dudes, and everybody gonna be telling, "Yo, Bones is better than it." Like you already know what the narrative gonna be.
You gonna see Spencer Dinwiddie. You know what I'm saying? You gonna see Spencer Dinwiddie out there hooping one v one, giving people the business. Then you gonna be like, damn, is Dinwiddie that
Uh,
nice? The same thing you saying.
Could
You
you,
know what
Mm.
I'm
bro,
saying?
bro?
Right? Like,
I ain't
I
gonna
want to
lie.
see it.
Could you imagine, bro, how bad that would look if Spencer Dinwiddie won a 1v1 tournament at All Star
yeah,
break,
like,
bro?
come on, man.
Come on, bro.
Lovely.
They can't do this, bro. Like, get that shit up
That's
out of
that.
here, bro.
I love
Especially
that
if he got to go through
for NBA.
juggernauts. Like, if he going through the top scorers in the
I'm not
league.
giving Spencer Dinwiddie no consolation prize, my nigga, for being the best one on one player in a said 1v1 whoever won a battle 1v1, bro. Like, cause we all know he wouldn't be the best one on one player in the league, bro, even if he did win it that year, bro. That's nonsense. I don't even put him on the level of Nas Reed, bro. Like, come on, bro. Let's stop this.
Even if they don't take it that far, my thing is the podcasters that are NBA podcasters or ex NBA podcasters, they should do it. You know what I'm saying? Like me and T Time podcasters, it's funny. Like Jack City, he said it. He was like, you know, I don't know how long they're gonna play. They podcasters for real. Like, like they don't expect much out of us, like professional athletes. But the fact is that we basketball content creators and we still playing basketball. It can only be good for basketball. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, Easy in the chat, he a moderator on his page. He said, Hamadou Diallo won a slam dunk title. Is he the best athlete in the league?
Yeah, like, come on. Like, I think that makes a
Yo,
good point. Like, I don't think
yeah,
the 1v1 contest is going to it's going to prove this. I think what the 1v1 contest should do is just prove that, yo, it's a difference between
And playing the
playing in the
NBA game
league
five
yeah,
and playing one
exactly.
on one,
And right,
bro. Like,
exactly.
cause I'm
yeah.
Like, I
pretty
don't
sure
think it's going to be
it might be
anything.
some niggas fresh off the street that could be some NBA niggas in 1v1, bro. Like maybe a few, bro. Like who knows? But at the same time, I'm not looking at them niggas and saying, yo, they the best 1v1 players in the world or the best. No, I'm not doing that, bro.
Everybody,
I think it's silly and there's nothing really to gain off of it, bro. Like I think the competition of the game belongs in 5v5 setting, bro, and that's what it needs to go back to.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think
And
they
I'm
should
not
do it
saying
either.
I'm not saying you know what I'm saying, don't have that. I'm just saying add to it because that whole format they got now, bro, they could miss me with that shit, bro.
I think if they did it though, I think they would start looking at some players a little differently. Like Alan said, you got Bones going to the G League, right? And then he come up here, you know what I'm saying, bodying people up, and then make you think like, why did not let him go ISO at certain opportunities in the game, yada yada yada. If he could score like that, you know what I'm saying, the ISO situation, you know what I mean? Like you start looking at him
Yo,
like
wait. Yo,
maybe I didn't give him the opportunity like that. Yeah.
that's what Wiggins was saying. You know what I'm saying about the Wolves. He was like, yo, you know, now I could do more. When he went from the Wolves to the Golden State Warriors in the trade, he complained about how he couldn't really do a lot of what he wanted to do because they had him in this quote unquote set role. Like, and my thing is, if you don't have a winning formula, why you won't bend for these players pause? Why you won't like adjust or heal but their side of it and how they see the game opposed to trying to fit a square peg in a circle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because coaches, Breezy, like I tell a story about my son playing AAU, and this coach had the same set starting five for like 2 or 3 years, right? And my son was like, you know what I'm saying, complaining like that. I ain't even playing like that. And there was other kids wasn't playing like that. He would run the same five like all the time. And his son was having a bad game. And I kind of, you know what I'm saying, I went to a practice and then I came to the game and I seen what was going on. And I'm like, bro, I kind of yelled at him a little bit like, bro, if your son having a bad game, you got to sit him out and let him look at the game from a different angle, right? Like he got to sit down and see the game, see what's going on with the defense doing and stuff like that. I said, my son don't know all the plays, but if you put him in the right situation, he's gonna give you points. You don't know what you got on the bench. You know what I'm saying? If you don't let them play, how would you know what you got? He's like, I want all these championships. You know what I'm saying? I said it's not about the championships. I'm like, you losing the game right now. You know what I mean? You losing the game right now. You should be winning. You got a starting five that you have for 3 years, and you losing the game. You need to switch up your lineup. So he put my son in, and my son had like two and ones. Like he scored like 6 points in like two possessions, and he was like, oh, I see what you're talking about. And then from there, he started putting other players in, and he started to see how they was working. You know what I'm saying? I took my son out, I put this player in. I took him out, I put him in, and it started working. The team started working together better, and he won the game. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? But coaches
So
don't
basically,
necessarily.
you coached that game. That's what you did. Iceman coached the game. He just trying to let us know that he coached the AAU game. Thank you for that, Iceman. You know,
Nah, I was saying the coaches don't necessarily see their players, you know what I mean, in that type of way. They be too focused on certain things that they might miss out on the player and be like, nah, I don't think he's that type of, you know what
they
I'm saying?
get
I don't think
stubborn.
he's
They get stubborn. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, if you got a winning formula, like you said, if they winning, they gonna want to do it another way. But I think him listening to you shows that that's part of winning too, being able to adjust. Because especially in the playoffs, when you're playing one team 4 times in a row, like it's good to be able to do that. But again, if you win in a certain way over and over and over, teams they're gonna watch enough film to stop that. You got to be able to call an audible. We got to give a team something new to look at. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I'm feeling to close out, man. I gotta get ready for tomorrow. It's a 3 hour stream. We was rocking, man. That's what I be saying. That's fans are the best fans. I want to start a stream. I want to do another podcast with Ice. I know you doing the duos. I still ain't see the one with you and Leaf. I did see a clip, but I ain't see the entire one.
all right.
You just is it on Twitter?
Yeah, I posted it not too long ago. I think I posted it today on Twitter.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out. Word. But yeah, man, that's the show, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be back with more content really soon. Shout out to Iceman. He threw his link in the chat. Y'all can subscribe to his page. Leaf threw his link in the chat. Y'all can subscribe to his page. Of course, subscribe to Big Fan Breezy. Like the stream. Thank you, Player One. Say great stream. W chat. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Akeem Benny Sports. Akeem Benny Trust the Nets rebuilding. He sent the super chat earlier. I want to again say thank you for that. And Nets fans is the best fans. That Akeem Trust the Nets rebuilding and moderate on his page. That's why I'll be saying that because the fans like him. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. And we're gonna be back with more content really soon. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Peace.